Wait till the camera gets
Okay,
this.
sorry.
Hi, we're here with Tom Segura.
Hello.
Nice.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
We were just recapping the beer Olympics, which I thought was going to be fun.
Yeah, I was invited to that. I couldn't make it.
You dodged a bullet because that shit sucked.
Yeah,
dude.
I think I'm going to see those guys tomorrow.
Yeah. No, they're the best guys.
Yeah.
But man, if you get that many football guys together, it got so fucking competitive.
You need them to do it with themselves. It's like trans athletes. You
Us-
guys do your own
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
thing and leave us out of this. It's not fun anymore.
We're two women. We're good in the women's league.
Yeah, exactly.
Me and Bert, everyone's like Shane and Bert are gonna win. Not nowhere near.
No.
Flip. What were the things?
It was
Flip
like
cup.
beer pong, flip cup, beer ball, which you just throw a ping pong ball at a beer can.
Okay.
And you gotta. That was me and Bert's worst because you have to scramble to pick the ball up.
Oh,
What?
shit.
Me and Bert can't bend down. And the other dudes were so fast and trying so hard.
That's the thing, they
shoving
don't-
dudes out of the way,
they
diving
don't
on the ball.
Do
like-
casual.
No.
When it comes to like a competition.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if it's lounging or if like you're hanging out, you're like, this guy's a regular guy.
Yeah.
And then it's like, who do you think is the best at this? And that just asking that question alone changes everything.
And that the chug, I blew it. So the opening event was chug a liter. So I think that's like 3 beers.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the one thing me and Bert have a shot at.
Yeah.
I tried to chug as fast as I could. It just went straight up my nose. I was like, "Ugh, I have to stop. I was such a bitch, dude. I was a bitch.
Was it
the
a bubbly
entire
carbonated? Was it carbonated?
Day. I mean, yeah. It was,
Getting it up your nose is no fucking joke.
no,
dude.
and I
Let's
tried to
be- let's
power
be
through it. And I
serious.
stopped. And I was like, you're wearing my nose.
Bubbles in your nose is nothing.
It was,
to fucking laugh at. Nothing to sneeze at.
It was so embarrassing. I was just a fat bitch all day. Then,
I'm so glad I didn't go.
yeah, you dodged it, dude. Although I was also bringing a lot of it on myself.
Talking a lot of shit.
I was chirping
you
Yeah,
should have
yeah.
called the cops.
because I was trying. Yeah, I threatened. I threatened all of the tricks, dude. I said, if you put your hands on me, I'm shitting in your pool, dude. Don't come. I said, I have a gun in my car. I'm gonna kill everyone. I have an AR-15. I'm gonna shoot everyone in here if you keep bullying me.
What is the so wait, what's the pro lineup there? It's who?
Who was in?
Who was in it?
So the winners was George Kittle and DeForest Buckner.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
DeForest Buckner is a freak, dude. You
Yeah.
see that guy, you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
These
the
guys are all
debate-
retired.
No,
What?
they're like Pro Bowlers.
And they're
They
getting,
played?
Yes.
and they're getting hammered too.
Yeah. They got
Yeah.
shit face.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
so it's like not only that level of athleticism, but they're also fueled.
They're fired up.
Yeah, they're fired
And-
the fuck up.
And then, so like you guys know me. If somebody says something mean to me, I try to say the meanest thing possible.
obviously.
Yeah.
And if you do that to those guys, they will resort to violence.
Quickly, yeah.
They will immediately go to violence,
Yeah.
and then you're
How were they
done.
tempering it? Was it like just like headlocks and like?
Taylor gave me 10 different headlocks. He made me tap 10 times. And I was like, dude, I'm going to tap every time. Stop
Yeah.
doing it. And sometimes he wouldn't listen to the tap. I'd be like, dude, for real this time.
Oh,
And you're a big dude, which just
Not
goes,
even, I mean, I was a baby
no, but I mean,
boy,
it just
dude.
goes to like about like what other level
Yeah.
these fucking
Yeah.
freaks are.
I suplexed him.
Yeah,
Did you
I hope they got that
suplex
on
them?
camera. I got him a couple times in there.
There you
I was
go.
holding him underwater at one point. You know me in the water, dude. I
True.
said, come down to the deep end,
You are a
dude.
creature
a
in the
little
water.
hippo in there,
You're
dude.
a creature.
so Kittle
Kittle and Buckner won.
and who else is there? That's
It was
pro?
Will and Taylor.
Yeah.
The guy that really did the most physical damage to me was a guy named James Neal. He's a retired NHL player.
Nasty.
And I thought he was joking. We were playing pool basketball, so we were shoving off
Yeah.
the ball, pushing
Yeah.
kind of as hard as we could.
Mhm.
I thought he was joking. At one point, while I thought we were joking, he grabbed me by the throat and held me down.
What the
And I
fuck?
was like, dude, I thought we were joking. And he was like, my bad on that one. I was like, holy shit. Yeah.
Damn, dude.
You're describing a scenario in which everybody then goes, "Where's Tom?" Because I would have fucking left.
Dude.
Like I would have been like, "Fuck this."
Yeah,
dude.
Bert was backing
Shooting
off a
threes?
little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you goaltend?
He did not play pool basketball. Pool basketball wasn't the event. We were just
Okay.
playing.
Oh,
That's
you're
a
just
serious-
playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see Bert being like, I really didn't like when you choked me.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I didn't like when you shoved me.
Also,
held me
I
underwater.
Getting shoved. Is,
getting shoved, dude.
don't
it was
shove me.
By professional shovers too. Like
Yeah, true.
a guy
true.
that literally one of the best. Taylor Lewan's one of the greatest shovers
yeah,
of all time.
and he's shoving you.
He was shoving the fuck out of me, dude. It hurt so bad. I have cuts all over my back from the wall.
Oh,
Getting
the
pushed
wall's
against
the worst,
the
dude.
concrete wall.
You basically this is an advertisement to like, hey, don't invite anybody who's not
Never.
one of you,
Yeah.
like to that thing ever again.
Yep.
It's a greatest
And,
fear. You go up to dunk and pull basketball, and your older cousin just shoves you into the wall.
Guy
and you're like,
punched
dude, I
me
might be
directly in
dead.
the. I went up for a dunk and the dude tried to swat it and just fucking hit me straight in the face.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, I called
No,
a foul.
This basically,
I said,
you
dude,
should.
That's a
there's
foul.
got to be one foul here because I just got punched in the face.
This is what it really sounds like is like a group of big brothers. We're like, let's all invite our little brothers over,
Yeah.
and fuck them up for a day.
This
Yeah.
was the first experience of mine where I was the little brother because I was always big.
Yeah,
So I was never the little brother that you could do wrestling moves to.
Yeah.
This was the first
Oh,
time
dude.
guys were strong enough to just fucking ragdoll me but I was hammered.
right.
So
Which-
nothing hurt.
Yeah,
Nothing
Oh.
hurt until the next day. And I was like, oh my God. Covered in bruises.
It's a core part of my identity, being like a suplexable little brother.
Yeah.
That's all I knew growing up. Was just getting beat
Getting
up.
suplexed.
I got beat up the entire time.
Yeah.
Older cousins and brothers.
Yeah, and you got big fucking cousins and
Big
brothers.
bros, yeah.
I never got that. I had sisters. I was just beating women. Like,
Yeah.
like my.
That's kind of nice.
it
I
is
had, I
fun.
had sisters too.
Yeah.
Fifth grade is when things turned around in the house.
Yeah,
That's when I started dishing out.
yeah,
That's when it
yeah.
was wrestling. And then I was big into wrestling at the time. So I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I can do moves.
Did you ever
And they were
British
so
Bulldog
much older.
both of them at once?
They were like seniors in high school.
And you're like
They
holding
had to
them
come home
down.
and a fifth grade boy was like, come here.
Did you ever beat them up in front of their friends?
Yeah.
So friends would definitely that would
But
turn them
their
on.
friends would beat me up too.
Well,
when I was a young
obviously
man.
you're letting them, dude. That was, you're playing.
They used to hold me down. This was one move this lady used to do, was hold me down, put my foot, I'd be flat on my back and tuck my foot into the back of my underwear. Like
Whoa.
that, so you can't get it out. You just have to roll around like a little pig
You
on
were
the
showing-
ground.
nah, you were
So
showing-
embarrassing.
You were showing her how flexible you were,
I was
dude.
so hard, dude. Oh, I forgot about that. That's a nice memory.
Did you ever have? So you had older sisters.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a sister's boyfriend punk you out, or like try to hurt you? I did.
No.
I had one time where, I was always kind of a smartass.
Yeah.
I guess so. This guy comes over, and I was like, "Oh, so I forget what I say to him, but I'm just like, it's not like really mean, but I think he was just kind of a dummy. So when I'm like, "Oh yeah, how's the season going? You guys doing all right?" And he's
He was
thinking,
an athlete.
He's an athlete. He's thinking that I guess like I'm either mocking him or
Yeah.
talking to him like an older man would.
Yeah.
And he was like, he just kind of
you were
looked at me
cleaning the gun the whole time.
and yeah,
A
and
Nerf
then
gun?
nobody else
Sorry,
was,
sorry. That's from me plopping on the couch. The couch is against the wall. It's usually
but everyone is out of the room. Like so it was just me and him for a second, and then he just looked at me and just real quick just punched me in the stomach.
what a beast.
Yeah. Yeah. I fucking
fuck?
cried. I cried. I was like, "Ugh." And I just,
Wait, so were you nicely being like, "How's your season going?" Or were you?
yeah,
fun with it?
he was just taking it. I get it in a sense that he was like, why is this kid that's like a couple years younger than me being like, because I was
Yeah.
like, and I kind of like, I sat like on the arm of the couch.
call him
I was
Jay?
like,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, how's it going, man?
Yeah.
Like, and I think he was like,
How you doing, champ?
I think he was like, he was thinking I was setting it up. I
Yeah.
don't think I'd said something
Damn.
particularly, but he thought I was like, everything going all right there in class,
yeah.
and then he just went like bat like that, and I was like, like that. I fucking cried, dude. I went in the other room and cried, like so he couldn't see me cry, but I totally cried. Yeah.
Fuck yeah! Someone came out to date one of my older cousins, and we were like, I grew up next door to my cousins, so there's 10 of them and 6 of us. So this guy pulled up to like take one of my older cousins out, and it was just a bunch of little kids, and we like found his keys. He left them in his car, and we just hid them from him
Yeah.
for like hours. And And this guy was trying to take our cousin out, and he couldn't. He was fucking
Nice.
furious. And
Yeah.
we're finally like, "Yo, here you go, dude.
Here you
We're
go.
fucking with you." And he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, you
It's
guys
not
are the
funny.
fucking. You get the
We were nasty.
Whitakers. You get the Whitakers
It
back
was,
there.
it was Lord of the Flies.
It's like, which one of you took my keys? Obviously, it was one of you. Dynamos. Just running around.
That would destroy you internally.
Yeah.
Yeah, as your keys are fucking like, and then
He's-
Oh, it's
pulled
so
up,
embarrassing.
keys are gone.
You gotta
Me
check
too.
the couch at a stranger's house.
and then everyone's just like, "What are you
Like,
fucking
did I sit down?
You don't know where your keys
I've been
are?"
here for 5 minutes.
Moron.
Yeah, we snatched him. Like,
Yeah,
fuck this guy. Who's this guy? Fuck this guy.
The pool basketball was a mistake.
Yeah.
Overall, fun trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's where things went south. I was a little drunk, obviously, from the beer Olympics. Not that bad. I took ketamine
Oh,
But you did. I didn't know
Yeah.
that part.
Oh wow! At the Olympics.
at the end.
Okay.
After the thing on the way,
Such
we went
a
to.
sick move.
It was just somebody cool was doing it, so I was like, I want to be
I'll
cool.
do it. Yeah.
We were driving over. I was like, I'll do some cool stuff too. And I've never done ketamine.
What was it like?
I did too much.
Oh, you're in the hole.
I got out of the car, held onto a truck. I got out of the truck and just held onto the side, and I was like, I'm going home. I'm not going into the party. I have to go home. I can't walk. And it was at Zany's, so like
Were you drinking and doing ketamine?
I was drinking, yeah, and then I took I stopped drinking as soon as that happened.
True. Yeah.
And then it was at Zany's in Nashville, so a bunch of like comedians, the owner was there.
This is just a party, an after party?
yeah, and all these comedians were like, Shane, hey, what's up? And I was like, hey, how are you guys? And like people were like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like this guy's got a real problem. I was like, I'm on ketamine. I took ketamine. Everyone was like, ew. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go home.
Is it a comparable high to anything? Like, is it?
No, I don't.
It's like a disassociative.
Yeah.
So like it makes you leave your body.
Yeah.
I did it once, like a little bit, so it was like just great.
Yeah.
And then I did a lot.
I can't get high in any social setting though,
I
and
can't
enjoy
either.
myself.
But then I went home, and when I got thrown in the pool, my wallet was lost. So I didn't have my room key or my ID
No.
to get into the hotel. So I'd sit in the lobby until Bert got back because they had it.
What?
So
You
I'm
lost
just
it?
sitting there. I can't move. I was just sitting in a chair in a hotel lobby. And then they came back, and I was like, guys, I'm fucked. I can't walk. I did drugs, dude. I did fucking drugs.
My brain's a scrambled egg right
And
now.
then I was like, I don't think I can walk. And they were like, yeah, you can. Just walk over that wall and walk back. I was like, there's no way my legs work. Everything works fine.
Yeah.
You're just in your own head. You're like, I can't move my arms. They're like, yeah,
Yeah.
you can't. You're moving your arms. And then we sat there for a while. I just drank water for like an hour. It wears off.
Yeah.
It's 40. Isn't it like 45? I
It
never
wears
taken it.
off, and you're fine.
I heard it's short. Yeah.
So I sat there and then sobered up. And I was like, what the fuck was that? Why would I do that? That was insane.
But now that you've had that, would you
I'll
do
never
it?
do that again.
No, because even being aware, you think it'd be enjoyable if you were aware that you're not unable to walk? You know
no,
what I mean?
I don't. I mean, I guess people do it and they're used to it and they really enjoy it.
Yeah.
But
well, my
it's
brother
not-
has these lozenges. You just eat them and you
Yeah.
just lay down with a blanket and you leave your body for 45 minutes and you just come right back into it. He
If I was
claims it's
taking a
kinda
nap,
cool. Yeah, yeah.
that would have been great.
It's like a super nap.
But
Do you-
at a party,
No.
it's
Do you smoke
embarrassing.
weed?
Yeah.
Regular, like,
Yeah.
and you?
No,
No. Can you handle,
I've cut back.
I
though,
can't handle
considerably.
weed.
Can you handle edibles and shit too, or no? You
Yeah,
can.
man, I can handle. I can handle weed.
I can drive on them.
Yeah, like because
For
everybody,
hours.
because
Yeah.
I've had this thing where like I know that like regular smoke, like people who smoke a lot, and it's not always this way, but some of them have an incredible tolerance for edibles. Like Ryan Sickler,
Mhm.
Sickler,
Yeah.
he can
You can just munch them.
not just like
Yeah.
100. He can eat like 600 milligrams. Like he can
Yeah,
do.
I can't do that. I'll freak out. I don't need much. I'll freak
Yeah.
out.
Even
off, like, 20
Diaz.
milligrams.
Diaz was like, "There's
Yeah.
no way that Ryan can handle a star of death," and Ryan was like, "Give it to me." He ate the whole thing. It's like 600 milligrams. And
Yeah,
he was like,
that'll fuck me up.
he was fine.
I'll be high for like 2 days.
But you can probably like 20 and 50 do nothing to you.
50? No, they fuck me up.
Oh, they fuck you up.
I'm losing my mind. I'll take 10 milligrams and I'm losing my mind.
You just can function on it.
You're good
I
at
got you.
internalizing the freak out.
Yeah, exactly.
The second I take it, I'm just telling everyone. I'm like, oh, I'm done.
No, I'll be like,
go
I'm
around
getting to the
telling
next
everyone.
level of my consciousness.
Yeah.
I'll be driving. I'm like, wow, it's such
do-
a hard turn to make on this road.
Nice turn.
Lancaster Avenue is poorly designed.
I can't believe that. Can you do stand up high?
No, I'm terrible. I'll forget what I'm doing. So I'll get a joke, I'll get a laugh, and I'll just go, all right, what am I up to now? And I go, oh no.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, yeah. For me, I want it
hate
so
it.
badly to be able to do it high. I can't.
Me too. And one of the hardest I ever bombed was on the road with Rogan, and he likes to fucking like really pull like from a massive fucking like a joint that is laced. And he's just like here you go, and he's like do it, and I was opening for him. I was like, cool, all right. And then I was like, I'm so fucking high.
Yeah.
And then he goes, you go out there for like you go because I was like, it was like
God
me.
damn it.
And I was like, and I walked out there at the it was the Columbus Funny Bone, and they happen as everybody when you do those clubs, you're actually like begging for this guy Dave Stroop to see you perform because he books
All of them, yeah.
he owns like so they're like Stroop's here, and I was like cool. And I go out there and I remember that like the first thing I said, I was like I said something like, you know, they introduced me and it was like it was packed, but it was like a mediocre reception. I was like, what is this fucking like Ann Arbor? Like trying to be like
Oh, that's boo.
Yeah,
If you bring up Ann Arbor
and they
Columbus,
were like super flat, and I was like, I'm about to bomb. Like
no.
And I bombed so hard that when I got off, it was even worse. I got off and I take that corner into like the back room, and the first person I see is Stroop, and he goes, what happened out there?
oh,
I was like,
shit.
I go, they're fucking, I don't know. It's just one of those.
Club sucks.
this
Fuck
place-
you.
Yeah. It's fucking terrible here, man.
Fucking
This
shithole.
place sucks.
God damn.
And
Yeah,
I was like, I can't just stand up high. And then, you know, Joe's high. He's like, that was cool, right? I was like, nah. He's like, yeah, it's good. I was like, mm-mm.
Yeah.
And then I did another one high, but also with him being like, here you go, just take it. And you're
Yeah.
like, all right. And that one was, the set was fine, but internally it wasn't. Cause like you hear like a hand slap and you're like, what's up with that? You know, I was like, what is that? And he's like, it's people clapping. I was like, oh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Why do we even do that?
dude,
I don't know. I can't do it high, dude.
No.
I don't like to even have, but I don't like to have a drink either. I like a drink after a set. I don't
Yeah.
like it before.
I can have one. If I have two, I start getting like asshole drunk confidence where I'm like, and I'm like,
I second guess things. What I do is I get off stage and I go, did I word that funny? And or like even when I'm up there, I'm like, I feel like I would have said this more clearly if I wasn't.
Yeah.
But you can do that.
I can drink and do stand up.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Found out I taped a special this weekend, and
Oh, you did?
Turns out alcohol might help.
Really?
Yeah. The first show, I was like, I got to go into this sharp, sober, average.
Average show.
In between sets, I was like, I'm gonna kill. Give me those beers.
Dude, yeah.
You didn't really drink that much, though, did you? How
No,
many?
not like a lot, but like 4 or 5.
Grease the wheels.
Yeah.
You had 4 or 5 before the second show?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's not a lot. Like that's
not a lot.
That's not chilling. Like,
4 or 5 Bud Lights.
4 or 5
over the course of 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's nothing.
But yeah, this is a different thing. Like you are coming to the realization that this is fuel for you. Like this helps.
I did it.
Because most people would be like, "Oh, you're doing 5 beers before your second taping,
yeah.
so you want to sabotage your
Yeah,
show?"
dude.
Yeah.
I can have one drink. It does loosen you up.
I tried,
And it was
what
awesome.
We've talked about it before. I did a weekend in Tacoma, and I was like, I gotta not drink.
Yeah.
So I was like, I had 0 alcohol the whole weekend, and every single show, I was like, this sucks. I suck. And then the Saturday late show, I was like, I'm gonna have a couple beers before this, and I just destroyed it.
What do you think it is? What do you think it is? Did that just put you in a different headspace?
Yeah, I think so. Just more relaxed, more yeah.
And what? So it was awesome.
I could probably get used to not drinking.
Yeah, you do. You do
Yeah.
get used to it. I prefer it now. So I am a
Yeah.
little bit sharper, but now it's like if I do have one drink, I do relax a little. It's like I save it for the very last show of the weekend. I'll have a drink while I'm on stage, and it's like Because if I have drink and I have not a good set, I just turn on myself. I'm like, you drunk.
Yeah, yeah.
You drunk?
You drunk. I drink like 6 drinks a month. You fucking drunk
I feel
piece
like you're
of
a
shit.
piece of shit. Yeah, I'm a loser. Wait, so
Yeah.
the second one went great?
Yeah.
Where did you tape?
At Tyson's Hall, or no, Tyson's, Virginia,
Tyson, yeah.
Capital One Hall. It's a new theater there. It's
Nice.
very nice.
That was
So
the set though. It was on. That was undeniable.
Also, it was less the alcohol, more I've never taped a special.
Yeah.
So that having a fucking camera floating around.
Yeah.
The first show, I was like, I'll just stare. I'd tell a joke and be like, just straight
just
into a
following
camera. Yeah. I was like, you guys see that?
But you're super happy now with the second one.
I'm happy with it. But then I don't watch myself do stand up.
Yeah.
So then I watch it. I'm getting clips and shit. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean, it looks
I can't
great.
get enough of myself. I watch
Really?
it. I'm like, man,
Are you
great.
serious?
I don't know why.
I know.
Something flipped. Something flipped
He was
inside
showing
of me.
me. Yeah, you were
where
showing
I'm
me
like,
clips.
I love it.
Yeah, you were showing me clips of your shit, and I was like, he was watching it like, I was like, dude,
I'm sick.
If
I don't know what's
see
wrong with me.
myself, I'm like,
That's been a recent development. Now I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
that looks great.
it does look great.
It's weird.
It does look great.
I swear to God, I
Yeah.
want to be like, it fucking sucks. But I'm watching. I'm like, it's
Yeah,
so funny.
dude, this is-
I forgot I did that.
This guy's so good. Who the fuck is this?
It's gross, dude.
I wouldn't watch the line cut
Yeah,
for months. And then they go, you have to give us notes.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
we have to get and then I sent in one set of notes and then they give you the second cut and they're like, we need this one. And
Scrap it.
Yeah, they're like,
And
how
I
do you
go-
like it now?
yeah, I was like, they go, have you watched it? And I was like, no, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, they go, we're going to actually like miss the release date if we don't turn this in like a week. And so I wish I shot in November, dude. And I was giving
Oh, geez.
notes in like late May to get this thing ready
Yeah.
for July. Like, and they were like, come on.
You
I
gotta
was
look
like,
in the mirror.
I was like, I don't want to watch this. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It does suck. There's parts of it where you start going like I did it because I always be like, I shouldn't have filmed this. I'm a fucking idiot. And then like I'll have that and I'll be like, it gets better towards the middle.
yeah. Tough start.
Did you shoot yours recently too?
Yeah.
Where did you shoot yours?
Helium, Philly.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, it's fun.
The first I filmed a YouTube special and I watched it.
That was great.
I watched
dude.
it. Oh, thank you.
That's great.
I watched
Yeah.
it by myself and I was like, this is a fucking disaster.
Really?
Like, this is the dumbest piece of shit. I look terrible. This is terrible.
It's so good though.
And then I watched it with someone else and they laughed.
Yeah.
While they were laughing, I was like,
Yeah.
it's good.
I fucking played it for Lemaire and Noah on the way home. They didn't even laugh. I was watching like, hey guys, I'm gonna rewind that part. That was actually good.
Did you hear that part? Did you get the nuance?
I wasn't listening.
Well, you can't put it on with those two.
Matt,
No, I was.
Tom, didn't you film your special in Philly Helium too?
No.
The
No.
cornrows one?
Which one?
White girls with cornrows?
Oh, fuck. Where did I? No, I recorded. That's funny. Sorry. I recorded that in.
They have it up at Helium, that's why I asked.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, they ask for albums from people who play the club. I recorded it in Denver. I remember that. I recorded it in Denver
Comedy Works?
at the South Club. And the
Oh.
reason I did it at the South Club because they wouldn't give me a week downtown.
Really?
Yeah, I had done it already. So I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, can I come back and do another?" I was like, "It's the
Yeah,
Magic
yeah, yeah.
Room," and they were like, "No, you can do it at the other club." Because I just couldn't get the booking. You know.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck when you're trying to film a special.
Well,
Yeah.
it was.
I
Here's
was
the thing.
trying so
They
hard. I was
don't
like, where?
care if you're not. I wasn't a big ticket seller when I did it, so they were like, "No."
Yeah.
And then as soon as you sell tickets, they're like, "Oh yeah, we can make.
We'll bump everybody.
Well, yeah, we'll just cancel people."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, that's how this works." Okay.
Yeah. They offered me that this time, and I was like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a tour. Just pick one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the
Funny
the
how it
first time
works.
I was trying very hard to get a place. And everyone was like, you can do Wednesday here.
Yeah, yeah. And you're like, I
No.
can't. No, I need an audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creek was
Anyway.
a nice spot for it though.
Creek was great. I was happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that special's so good, man.
Thanks.
I was just talking about how like you can tell when you watch. I think every time I watch specials, and like I first of all finish it,
Yeah.
or I think I even at the 15-minute mark. Like I remember watching first time I watched Bert's first special, the Secret Time one.
Yeah.
I called because they gave me an advance screening on because I was going to do a podcast. I go, you sent it to me, and Netflix sent it to me. I was like, you're definitely going to do theaters next. He was like, really? I go, absolutely, because
Yeah.
it was really good. Nate Bargatze's first one, I paused it and I go, You clear your schedule. Like
Yeah.
this is really, really good. And I thought yours was like that too. It
Thank
was
you.
really, and it did have that effect.
Yeah.
Like it's totally changed your touring life.
Let's change to you
Oh, okay.
instead of.
I will say I did watch. I never watched specials, and I was
Yeah.
like, let me see what they're like. And I was watching yours. I'm like, yeah, this was fucking good. I was like, turning it back
good.
on, like watching it now, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
I watched Sledgehammer last night,
Oh, thanks.
and it was I don't watch specials, or I do, but I turn you turn them off.
turn 'em off, yeah.
Turn them off.
Yeah.
I was laying right there. I haven't laughed out loud at a special in a very. I was by myself at like midnight, laying right here, like the closer made me.
Oh, thanks,
I was
man.
dying, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was really fucking good, man.
It is the best to hear. I mean, people can tell you that they like it, but when other comics tell you they like it,
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
comparison. It is the best.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling. And in the round filming it there, it was.
Yeah, it was cool.
I thought it looked awesome.
I thought, dude, I deserve no credit, but when I did want to do it in the round because I was like, it's a fun, different thing. I'd done the round in a couple arenas, and then there's only a couple theaters left that
Yeah.
have the round. One's in Long Island.
Yeah.
I forget the name of that one. It's an old theater, and it's the Paramount. Yeah, I think it's
Maybe.
the Paramount.
Paramount, I didn't do it.
It's in the round.
How
And
do you do it? You just slowly rotate, like.
Dude, I did that theater with Bird.
the celebrity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I never did a round.
Yeah,
I stood still and rotated.
it's very common.
And my feet, when the cord was around my feet at one point.
Yeah.
I was doing a 15-minute set.
Yeah.
And I got in a circle.
Yeah.
And then half my act is, most of it's dumb facial
So
expression.
you
Yeah.
slow dance.
So you make a facial expression and only a third of the room sees it.
Yeah.
And then I'd turn around and be like,
You give it to
Do it to the other side.
I'm
You
like,
guys
just to
get it?
show
Yeah.
you guys what you missed. Yeah, I did not like it. I was not used to it, but
Yeah.
it's so cool looking.
It is. It fucking. They did a killer job of the set. I thought
Yeah.
it was actually that. Like when I went out for because you arrive early on
Yeah.
tapings. I walked into that room and I was like, "Holy shit!" And they go, "Oh, this isn't even like done." They're
Yeah.
like, "Kill the," and they showed me. I was like, "This is the
Yeah,
coolest
the bulbs
looking."
coming down was,
It was
cool.
It was
That's
fucking
kinda
rad.
tight.
Yeah, it looks cool, man. It
Yeah.
looks really good. Yeah, they killed it. That's John Irwin produced it. He's the fucking man. So he made it look good. And I taped 4.
Really?
I taped 4, and I'd never done that. And everybody who had done it was like, "You got to do it. You got to do it." And your experience is what I've always experienced in tapings, which is like you do show 1, and you're like, "All right, like we got one," but like show 2 is always what I use. We tape 4 fucking shows, and we use show 1.
My man did
I
6.
psychoed out,
My
yeah.
man spazzed.
I was like-
my man spazzed and did 6.
I had the whole
6?
weekend. I had 6 shows, so I was like, just film all of them,
Wow.
just in case. If
Wait,
I
what do
miss
you-
one, I'll be pissed.
Have you gotten to the edit yet? Are you ready?
Yeah, we did. We ended up using mostly 2 of them.
Yeah.
So
Dude, I used show 1. I've never done that before. And I used the
Really?
whole that's it.
that's kind of tight.
The Austin one I did show 1.
Yeah.
But I did Friday. I was trying to film 4 and they just fucked up Friday.
Yeah.
And then no one told me because they didn't want me to be upset when I went on stage.
Yeah.
So I got done. I was like, killed it. I was like, that was it. And they were like, we didn't have audio. I was like, wait, what? They're like, so we got crowd reactions that those are going to be good. I was
Great.
like, oh, well, that's wonderful. So now I have
didn't
2
know
shows.
that.
Yeah.
We had kind of a similar thing where they didn't want to tell me this, and I could tell by the way they were talking. So like show 1 is it's the one you saw, and like the
Yeah.
crowd, I care about obviously the performance, but like the energy of the
Sure.
you want to put one out that's like energetic and hot.
Yeah.
So it's like a bonkers crowd.
Yeah.
Right? They're really hot. So I'm in love with it. I do show 2 on Friday, and I was like, that's all right. Definitely show 1. And they're like, all right. Saturday comes, and the show is like, it's a good performance, but it's a little less energy. And I'm like, well, hey, we're still on show 1. And they're like, People start to tell me, they're like, no, this one. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
They're like, that you were amazing in that. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, well, this feels weird that you're saying this.
Yeah.
Because-
Why are you
because-
saying this?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, why are you saying this? Then I do the 4th show, and they're like, actually, that one. And I'm like, wait, what? And then I realized that show 1, they had a little bit different lighting scheme. It wasn't as dark.
Oh.
So the producers and like the crew, they prefer night too because it's clean, like it's more cinematic looking.
Yeah.
They had a little bit of like fog in the air
Yeah.
in show
Pretty tight.
one, and they cut that, and I was like, okay. And then they go, we didn't. First of all, they're like, there's more people moving. Like there's people getting
Yeah.
up in show one, and on the rest of the shows they tell them don't
Yeah.
move. So like that's a distraction. I go, I don't give a fuck
Yeah.
Yeah.
about any of that. I go, I don't care if it's brighter and there's people moving. I go, the show is better. That's the special.
Yeah. Usually.
And they did not want me to do it. They wanted me to use
Mm.
these other shows, but I was like, you can't let that shit dictate what you pick.
Yeah.
You know?
I was distracted.
You were?
No,
Yeah.
no.
No, people have
not
told me.
once.
Some people have messaged me. They're like, what's up with all the people moving? I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
I have people walking in front of the camera and shit. It's like mine was more of a learning experience than anything else.
I'm like,
Now
oh,
I know how you do them. I didn't know.
Yeah, it is a weird thing.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's the most uncomfortable feeling.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, luckily I heard I could kind of like you explained me your whole thing where you watched it yourself and were like freaking out. So I was like, okay. So I just didn't have to. I was just like, whatever.
Watching it yourself is.
But yeah, now you're in heaven. You love
Nightmare.
watching yourself. So this
Now
is,
I'm that's what I did. I
Now
can't-
he watches
you're like, this is
himself.
the best. Dude. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
show
show
my
my
wife.
I'll walk in the room and he's like, I'm like, what do you want? What meme is that? Let me see that. He's it's
me.
It's a me.
Dude, it's weird. It's been a weird shift that happened internally where I'm just like, I'll catch myself doing stuff. I'm like, yeah, that kind of looks stupid. And I go,
Sure.
you'll get it next time, brother. Don't worry about it. Look
What
at that
the
thing. That's
fuck?
great. It's crazy.
Oh, that's so nice.
weird,
dude.
yeah.
That's nice.
That's
It's
a
weird.
really nice thing.
It's weird.
I judge my voice, my hands.
Dude, you know
it's
what I
just-
did? I stopped. I used to be in the grocery store and I would see people and I'd be like, look at this dumb fucking pussy dumbass. And I stopped doing that. I just made an effort to stop doing that and I got nicer to myself as a result.
What?
Totally didn't even go for it.
Look at that
Dude, I just
growth.
like, look at that lady's stupid head. And I'd be
Yeah.
like, look at that fucking weirdo. And I started just being like, trying to be nice in my head.
That
to
guy
people.
thinks he's better than me?
Yeah, literally, it's that.
Look at him.
It's that. It's being
Fucking
like, that
handsome
guy.
fucking
Yeah, he's
homo.
tall and probably has a bigger dick than me, but like
Yeah.
I'm probably better SAT scores than that guy. Yeah, I cut a lot of that
Nobody
out.
in here knows I did a Netflix special. No one in, that's why they're treating me so poorly. It's not because I'm disheveled.
Dude, now I'm at the beach with my family right now. Now I'm real. This is another test, a mental test, dude. We're like, I'm there. I got kids, my wife, and you'll see like, just like college
Shit bodies?
kids with beautiful
Oh, beautiful.
women,
Yeah.
like tossing a football back and forth. There's a part of me that's kind of like throw me the ball, guy. I have to be like, dude, that's over for you, man.
Yeah.
That's not. That's
I learned the hard way this week, dude. I learned a very hard way
There's
that
part of me that's like,
horseplay is done for me.
Yeah.
yeah. I
But
did
also,
give up my
what
gainer.
he's saying though, what you're saying, I have bit my tongue. Where like it'd be really fun to throw the ball right now.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
you know what I mean? Like
It's nothing to do with those
it's
chicks
fun.
in
They're
bikinis.
Yeah,
having
you learned
fun.
the hard way too. Horseplay's done, dude.
Horseplay.
You learned the hardest.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
You learned one of the hardest ways I've ever seen someone win.
yeah.
Horseplay years are over, dude. You can horseplay a little.
I was
but
doing a
no more
gainer.
dunk
No.
contest.
Dude, that was
And here's
crazy.
the thing.
Dude. I forgot about
It's out of
that.
control.
Here's the thing. I've gone to do it again.
No,
Yeah, I know. And
have to.
well, here's the thing.
you gotta learn to fly again.
I stopped. I stopped.
Sky, dude.
We were raising it again, and before it got to like, oh, this will be a challenge, I was like,
What were you
stop.
at, like 9?
9 was the last one that I did.
Yeah.
Before
That's
I got,
good.
and then we raised it, and that's where I got hurt. No, this time when I
Wait,
went
you
back,
dunked on 9?
I dunked on
That's
9.
good.
And I dunked
And
on
you were
9 at
big.
250.
That's crazy.
What?
Yeah, it was 250.
That's crazy.
And I also like when the surgeon.
That's really fucking impressive.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I was 42. Like, I mean, so that was like, but the surgeon, he goes,
I tried to dunk at the Sky Zone off a trampoline recently and just braked on the rim. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Just reminded me, I was like,
Jimmy one?
I'm on this. I was like, oh, fuck, dude.
no, I was so fired up. I think, but that surgeon, he goes, I tore, so I had a double whammy because I tore this
Yeah.
tendon.
Ah.
And he goes, most people when they tear their tendon, they tear it at the connection point. So either like where it is on the patella or where it is here. He goes, yours tore in the middle. He goes, what you see like in 2%
Oh, man.
of these things. And I go, so what? He goes, it just takes a tremendous amount of force. So it makes sense because like
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
this
yeah.
250-pound dude
250-pound
jumping
dunking.
as hard as he can.
Oh.
And then it just like snapped in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like Zion.
Yeah, I kind of look like him.
You're like Zion, dude.
Yeah. How
Yes,
is that guy not broken?
Just blowing out of
Yeah.
shoes and shit,
Yeah.
dude.
But he's like fucking.
Yeah, they traded him. He's gonna explode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Where is he now?
Didn't they trade him?
If they trade, they just signed him.
Oh no, never mind. I thought he was no. For some reason, I was thinking Memphis, which
He
would
just
be
had that baby mama scandal.
yeah,
though.
the baby
Oh, the
mama
baby mama
scandal
thing, yeah.
was.
Oh no.
Which was, she sold him out, right? Like she went on social media and was like,
I think he
I
had
she was like
two
an
different-
OnlyFans girl.
What do
what'd
you
she say?
What was the?
Like an OnlyFans girl and then another OnlyFans girl.
Oh,
Ryan Mills, I believe.
Who is this guy?
Zion Williamson.
Pro
He's a
baller.
basketball player.
Is he the guy who just got drafted, or he's new? He's
no,
been
he
there?
got
No.
drafted. He was a freak. He played at Duke,
he
Okay.
was so freaky.
he's a freak,
He
dude.
sounds familiar. Yeah.
but he's fat.
Oh really?
He keeps getting
Uh,
every time because he's like not playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll just gain like 80 pounds.
Jesus
but
Christ.
But he can
fucking-
jump out of the gym like he's a monster.
Do you know what they gave us a tour at Cameron when I did?
Yeah.
I did a show at in whatever
Yeah.
Durham, whatever. So they gave us a tour at Cameron, which is fucking
Yeah.
rad because there's a bunch of Duke haters, but I'm like, give me a tour of any.
Yeah, I blew it. I
True.
said I said no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just did Durham, but I was like, my flight was
Oh,
close.
it was so
I
cool.
blew it. Fuck.
So I was talking to the guy.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. Fuck. He gave me.
You sure it didn't suck?
No, it's just the best.
It was hot in there.
so cool.
Sucked.
It was so rad. And the guy, one of the guys who gives us a tour, he's been there
Yeah.
for like their whole dynasty, right? Like this guy who's just like been a. So we're there's all these like photos, trophies everywhere, and he's
Yeah.
like talking about each player, like this guy. So I was like, what's up? Like talking about Zion because there's a couple of pictures of him that look like they're fucking AI, just fucking
Yeah.
flying through the air, and he's 6'8", and he's like 260 when he
Jesus
was in
Christ.
freshman in college, and you're like, Jesus Christ. And he's like, when we did the vertical test, they take, you ever seen those for like, have them at the combine where it has like these little,
Yeah, you jump straight up.
Oh, you tap.
you
Yeah.
tap
Yeah,
it
it's
and then
got
the
these-
thing moves.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
So like,
every inch is a little plastic.
And
Yeah.
It shows which one you hit.
Yeah.
and when you go pop, it goes like that, right? So, and they go all the way to the top. So he goes and he does the vertical test and he hits the very top one. So the whole thing moves and they're like, what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
All the other players are like, so then they get a 45-pound plate from the weight room and they put the vertical thing on that,
Yeah.
right? So now
Yeah.
it's like whatever,
yeah.
this much higher. Top one. So they take a second plate. So now it's two 45-pound plates on top. Hits the top one, and they go, that's it.
What is his vertical jump?
I mean, when he's sub 300.
Oh, because he's
it's
fucking
like,
so
Yeah.
tall too.
yeah, but still, a guy that
That's
big
crazy.
doing that, I mean,
But no, if you're that tall, also that kind of hurts your vert. 'cause
True,
It
yeah.
starts where your hands straight in the air.
he's,
You
but
know
he's,
what I mean? That's where you
Yeah,
start
yeah, yeah.
measuring.
it's over
Oh,
40.
okay, so yeah, and then they measure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's over 40
But
inches.
yes, him being tall,
That's
he would
nuts.
start.
Which is
yeah,
nuts.
AI had like a 40-something inch
Yeah.
vert.
He's
Look
got
at
a
that.
45-inch vert.
That is fucking
That's-
Yeah,
crazy.
AI had a 40-something vert.
AI's has got to be insane.
Yeah.
Tommy, this is great. We were on the road. It was me, Naeem, and Tommy. And Tommy and Naeem were at the gym, and Tommy was doing box jumps.
Who's this?
My friend Tommy
Oh,
Pope.
okay.
And it was you. No.
Oh yeah, and we were doing box jumps.
Yeah.
I remember.
But Tommy did a box jump onto a 44-inch box, and they were like, 44-inch vert.
No.
Oh, no.
They came to lunch with me, and they were like, Tommy has a 44-inch vertical leap. I was like, LeBron James has a 44-inch vertical leap. Tommy did not have a 44-inch.
He lifted his knees
Yeah, I
up.
Yeah.
googled it.
Yeah,
I was
he
like,
goes-
top verts.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
Vince Carter, 45.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you're pretty much Vince.
I don't think you can tuck your knees to your chest.
No,
and
they
jump.
tucked their knees and jumped up. It's like, yeah.
How about Morant? What is his vertical? It's got it.
Morant's verticals
It
gotta
looks
be
so stupid.
insane.
It doesn't look real actually when he jumps. Have you ever seen that guy jump?
No.
It actually
It's
looks
comical.
cartoonish.
It's
It's
funny.
crazy, yeah.
It
When
looks
people float like
cartoonish.
that, it's kind of
It's
like
funny.
bizarre.
He's got 44, so him and Tommy
So
and John
him
Morant.
and me are like right there. That's fucking.
Zion, I was following Zion when he was in high school because it was all of his highlights were everywhere. He was from South Carolina, and so he was just playing against white dudes that are 5'5".
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the funniest
It's
mixtape.
hilarious.
It's the funniest mixtape you've ever seen. He's going through the leg dunks on kids.
And there's that one kid that's like, there's that famous kid.
Oh,
that's
a
like,
kid who's like talking shit to him,
Yeah.
trying to D him up. He
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
fucking dunked on.
Oh.
And the kid's
pants.
head is like up to
Yeah.
his tit. And you're like, And you see him going like this to people, like Zion's like, what's going on?
That was me. That was me in
Yeah.
pool basketball.
Yeah, that was right.
For real. I was like, let's go. Nothing you guys can do. I'm never going to tap. I tapped. Help.
This isn't fun anymore.
This is how
Thank
old
God
I
for
am.
Michael Chandler.
When I was in high school, before he transferred to that, there's this crazy like school in Carolina that's for, I think it's Oak Hill Academy.
Oh yeah.
That's Oak Hill. I think that was Carmelo.
That's-
Yeah. But so Vince went there, or went to one
Yeah.
like that, but not at. He started in Daytona Beach, and when I was in high school in Florida,
Yeah.
I was not that far from Daytona. So like when you would watch local news, they would be
Yeah.
like local freshman Vincent Carter, and then they would show him do like reverse fucking double pump
Jesus
shit on people. You're like,
Christ.
oh my
Yeah.
god,
That's
this is so stupid. And then he transferred up to that school, but it was
we had
fucking-
Kobe in our area. Like
Kobe.
my
Really?
cousin
Yeah.
had to play against Kobe in a summer league and was just like,
yeah.
he's like, dude, my cousin was really good too, and he was just like, dude, it was just, he's a freak, and you just felt like crazy.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a kid in high school, like we went to the gym, and we like the high school gym, and this was like at this big high school in Milwaukee suburbs. You know, we all played basketball in middle school.
Yeah.
So we're like, let's just go to the gym here. And this kid does the cup. He cups the ball here, and then he goes like that and dunks. We were like, what the fuck?
Oh, we have to go home.
Like, yeah, we're not playing basketball
on
here at
ketamine.
all. Yeah, yeah. let's-
Ketamine just kicked in.
Yeah,
I have to go home.
I'm gonna dissociate
go
now.
sit.
Yeah. Give me a blanket. Let me lay down for 45 minutes till these guys leave.
I didn't know you got stuck on the ket.
I got stuck. I was in a K-hole, dude.
You
It was
were.
the most embarrassing shit possible. After getting beat up all day, I took it to the next
You
level.
processed, though. You
I took it to
processed.
the next level,
You
dude.
processed the
They
fucking.
gave me Pizza Hut. They were like, "You need something to eat." I was like, "This is the best pizza I've ever had." They're like, "This is disgusting. It's disgusting shit." I was like, "It's so good."
It's so good, dude.
saved your life.
It did. Pizza,
Pizza
Hut,
Hut saved your
Pizza Hut brought me back.
It grounded your body. Your spirit body needed to be grounded with like fat and grease,
Dude.
just back to your.
Dude, coming down from sobering up and just being like, "What a fucking embarrassment." Why would I do drugs? I know I can't do drugs.
I just did ayahuasca and
Did you really?
Yeah,
Well, that's
baked
nice.
the chocolate, like they cook, so you don't have to go through the vomiting
What?
diarrhea. They cook it down into these. It doesn't taste good,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's way better than have like the authentic version. And I'm so fucking stupid that everyone I've told to, they're like, "What are you fucking retarded?" Like I ate it at night right before. I was like, "I'll eat it before bed." I'm like,
What?
it'll help me go to bed. I was just like wanting to feel a buzz, and then I was just like,
Wait.
in bed. I was like, ah!
How
Like, just
strong
like-
was it?
It was too strong.
Wait,
It
you
was-
took just ayahuasca just on a whim?
yeah, like 11 o'clock at night.
I thought you were like with a shaman, like
No,
having
no.
a guided.
No, here's the thing: the shaman sent it to me
Dude,
with
just
instructions.
eat it.
I didn't read them. I didn't look. I read them the next day, and they were like, "Go into this with intention," and like,
Yeah.
I just ate it, and I was just in bed, like, "What the fuck? I shouldn't be on tour this much." Like I was just like, like it was fucking. It was
Yeah, you're
nuts.
on like DMT basically.
Oh
for,
yeah, and then
forever.
I look over at the clock, and it's like 4, and I'm like, "Oh, like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna sleep at all tonight."
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
That's
It's
a
fucking-
insane.
Yeah, it was
experience.
stupid. Yeah.
How
Damn,
long
they
did it
make
last?
Ayahuasca chocolates now.
I think I went to bed around 6 a.m. And I slept like 2 hours and then but I mean I was whacked.
You're a
That
changed
day. I
guy.
was fucked up. Yeah. And then everybody was like, "Why would you? Why?" And I was
Yeah.
like, I just got it in my head because I'd had these like edibles that were like
10 milligram
10 million
edibles.
edibles. Yeah, yeah. And I was like, I'll eat one of these.
Yeah, whatever.
And I was out. I was like, I'll just eat the ayahuasca. It's so stupid. Yeah. I was so fucking out of my mind.
I have that Molly in my room that someone who isn't me gave
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
and they're just burning a hole in my pocket.
Yeah.
Dude. I just look at them every night. I'm like, I should just hang out and
Yeah.
take Molly. I'm so afraid to do it.
Really?
Yeah. I've done it before and it's great, but just doing it on like basically a school night,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
true.
insane, dude.
Yeah.
I would just sit here and play a video game and it's coming though.
Yeah, I
Do
get
those
scared.
go bad?
I do get scared. When
Do those
things
go bad?
I don't think so. No, it's just in like a crystalline form. It should
Yeah.
last forever. I get scared when things kick in on me. I'm like, oh fuck, here it comes.
Yeah.
It's like, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Ayahuasca, when you weren't quite sure of what it was going to do.
Well, here's the thing, and I had a guided experience before.
Okay.
Where like that
Yeah.
one was cool with like the shaman and that was, you know, a whole thing where it was fucking a whole day of that.
Yeah.
But they were like watching you and, you know,
So you knew what you're getting into then.
I just got. It was just like when your brain goes,
Yeah,
nah, it'll be
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Just being stupid.
Yeah,
It was just.
yeah.
I've done that with edibles where I just like I'll like impulsively be like and gobble them up and then like have to go to like a kid's party and I'm
Yeah,
like,
and you're like, what?
oh, why did I do that? I feel
Yeah,
like kicking it.
yeah.
Like, I didn't even know I ate that.
Yeah.
Or you just tell yourself it won't affect me like that, like it does normally.
Yeah.
I'm in a different place now. I think
yeah.
I'll just flow with it.
Matt
It's
used to make edibles, and he would test them out on me sometimes.
yeah.
And I
Really?
would forget. I would
I would like
forget
make
I
them
ate them.
commercially. I'd make like thousands of them.
Yeah.
yeah.
And he wasn't. The dosage wasn't precise in the
Evenly
early
split?
stages.
No.
Nah, 'cause it's like coconut oil, so like the
The
water and the
Skizzlers,
fat.
dude.
The Skizzlers
The
were nice.
Skizzlers will knock you out.
Yeah, I almost blew our kitchen up. I was making like an Everclear tincture, and I was just boiling it on the stove on a gas stove like an idiot, ever so lightly, and it just like. I was like,
Huge fire. I was playing
I yelled for
Xbox.
shame.
I was just sitting there on like a folding chair in front of a shitty TV, a giant flame. Matt's panic skills are out of control, dude. The fire starts. He's like,
I run in circles when I panic. If I'm panicking, I just run in a circle like an animal. It's bizarre. He saw me. I cut my finger. It was the same thing. I was
Yeah.
squirting blood out of my finger, and I just ran in a circle, just going. "Ah!" And he's like, "Dude, you gotta go to the hospital." I'm like, okay, take me, please. I do not. I freak.
yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. But yeah, I'm off the edibles right now. I've been
Being
taking
good?
it easy on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pigging out for decades.
What's your like? So are you like a roll a joint guy? Or are you?
Yeah, I can smoking weed. I can smoke it. I'm like,
You're fine.
Yeah.
if I eat it, I get fucking.
I can't
whacked.
even tell when you're high.
Yeah, if I
Like
smoke,
not really. I can
No.
tell when you're fucking very high.
Yeah.
But if you're like a little high, I have no.
No, it's so I can
It's not
smoke
like
weed.
Lamisi. Lamisi, you can see it.
Yeah, true.
Like right now, I can see his eyes. He's not high.
I'm not high right
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
So I'm straight and narrow.
Yeah.
No,
Shut
the
down.
edibles-
He
I'm,
gets high. He just comes in. He's-
I'm a very obvious tell. I think.
yeah.
Yeah. I can't hide it at all.
Wait, so what was the bedtime ayahuasca experience like? It was just you.
The
Yeah, what happened?
Just
the
see anything?
No, well, here's the thing: is like at first when it first comes on, it does feel like an edible is hitting you because it's just kind of starting.
Mm-hmm.
So, like in other words, like you go, oh, okay, I feel a little buzz, starts a little bit of a body high.
You put your nightcap on. You're like,
And you're
I'm
like,
going to bed.
good. I'm like, this is gonna be nice. I'm just gonna fall asleep now, you know. And then your brain's like, here's things that you shelve. And then,
Ooh.
but here's the thing, and then you start to feel it.
Laying in bed, that happens anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
But you can
this is-
see 'em
it's-
probably.
It's
Oh my
magnified.
God.
It's magnified. But also on top of that, a lot of physical, like your whole body starts, vibrating, and so you're just kind of like, oh shit. And then the thoughts just kind of grow, and it wasn't panic. It's not like you know how like you can get paranoid on like a really strong. It's not like
yeah.
that. But you just kind of start ruminating and thinking about things and there's no way to switch it off.
Yeah.
Like, but also in a way, it's kind of nice because hours go by and you're not like, I wish this would end. You're just kind of like lost in your thoughts and whatever
Holy
you're thinking
fuck.
about. But you're physically like, I remember at one point I was like, oh, I can't get up right now. Like I'm too high to stand up.
Yeah.
And I look over and it's like 3, and I was like, ooh, I'm just gonna. I think I need to pee. I'm
Just get pissed.
just gonna piss in this bed.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna piss my pants.
Yeah. Yeah, I pissed in the bed.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Someone will clean it up.
Piss in the bed is a nice feeling.
I pissed one time in the bed when I was 17.
Did you really?
I it hadn't happened since like childhood, and I remember waking up and being like coming from like a vivid dream where I pissed in the dream.
Yeah.
And I was like, you've got to be fucking shitting me. I couldn't believe it. And I was so mortified that I just flipped the mattress over. Like
Good move.
I
It is
took the
embarrassing.
sheets off, flipped the mattress, and that was it.
If I piss, I'm just shit faced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't done it in a while. Praise Allah. But
Yeah.
when you go to like the beach or something, it's fun to just piss your pants before you get in the water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
awesome.
It's a great feeling.
Yeah, it's
Pee in the
Piss your
sand.
pants is a good feeling.
It is nice.
You
I-
piss your pants. Didn't you just piss your pants as a fucking experiment the other day?
That was a long time ago.
It was an experiment. I was drunk and I had to drop a bike off, and it was warm. It was nice.
Oh, you
Yes.
did it recently?
Yeah, like 2 months ago.
I thought you were talking about during your mental breakdown.
You
when
were just
peed
like-
yourself.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
You're just
Oh,
standing
yeah.
outside and you're just like, I'm gonna piss right here.
No, wait, you pissed twice? What was the
He did it one time at a low point in his life. He had a
The low
psychotic
point was
break.
at
Peed his
Walmart,
pants.
right?
Yeah, that
he
was
left
at Walmart.
You were
left
standing in
Walmart.
Walmart.
Yeah, I was working and I wanted to see if anybody would know, and I just pissed. Nobody knew. I
You just
walked
wanted
out-
to-
I walked
Jesus
out right after
Christ.
that.
And then you're just standing in a pool of piss.
No, it was just.
No, he
just-
trailed it.
It ruined
He probably-
my pants.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It ruined my pants.
Oh, so you soaked your pants and
Ruined my
stopped. You didn't use a puddle.
Yeah, I soaked my pants. It didn't make it. It didn't puddle. It didn't puddle.
Okay.
Did you just
No
say I
puddles.
quit? Did you? You were working and you decided to piss
I
your
wasn't
pants?
working at Walmart. I was doing like Aramark, like the snacks, handing out snacks and stuff. I was
You
like,
were
oh,
handing out snacks and you just stood there and pissed yourself?
Not the snack thing. My shift was over, and I was like, all right, okay, I can walk home. I just
This is
blowing up
insane.
Yeah,
steam.
he's fucked up.
Yeah.
You decided to
Yeah,
pee
no.
yourself before the walk
so
home.
crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
You're
I was-
reality testing. You were deep in Inception.
No, I was
That's
mad.
your spinning top.
But
Just
Yeah.
this is a way crazier story than any of this drug shit we're talking about. Like,
That's so
you're
weird.
just standing in Walmart pissing.
What was the
Yeah,
latest
what'd you
piss?
The
piss?
latest one, I was
You
drunk.
promised me you'd never do it again.
I'm not. I was drunk, and I had
You
to drop off
swore.
a city bike. I had to drop off a city bike. I dropped off the city bike, and then I had to go home, but it needed me to take a picture of the city bike. So I had to walk back to the city bike, and I filled up with piss so quickly. And I took a picture, and I had to make a choice. It was like either piss my pants or like
Pull your pants down and piss.
in front of the
on
school, though. It was a kid's school.
Good
A
call.
Oh,
kid's
you're
school,
afraid of-
not an adult
Well,
school.
what time was
It's a
it?
pedo
It was
charge.
midnight.
Yeah, you can piss.
Yeah, but you get the pedo charge if they can't. I mean, yeah, against hours.
Yeah.
You did the right thing. You
Dude,
pissed
there's
your
no
pants.
way
You
that-
pissed your pants for the kids.
Yeah.
So wait, did you just stood there and pissed?
I did just stand there and piss.
Did you just let a little bit of pressure off? or
But
did you
that
let
one
the
had a
whole-
pool.
No, I full pissed. No,
Oh,
this-
dude.
it was.
And it must have been a huge piss. If you were
it went-
drunk,
It went in my socks. It was in my shoes.
What shoes are you wearing?
Definitely
not these,
those.
Not these. Not these.
those are the only shoes you
No, I
have.
got different shoes, dude. I got different shoes.
You lying, dude. Those
I'm
are
not
those
lying,
shoes.
dude. It was a different pair of Pumas. I swear.
Different pair of Pumas.
Or your piss pumas?
I don't believe that pissing in front of a school thing.
No.
What, you
Those
get
cops
pedo?
will let you go.
Yeah.
If you get caught with that, they're fucking. You were doing something.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you're like, no, I was just taking a piss. It's like, no,
Yeah,
dude,
that's a
you
good.
were,
That's a fair point, actually.
you
I
were doing
thought about
something
that.
else.
Or you just like, or if you're like really talking shit to a cop about it, that's how
Yeah.
they get you.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
If you're hammered, you're like, what are you gonna fucking
Like,
do,
yeah.
pussy? Well, you're a pedophile now. So. Nice badge, pig. You dumbass.
Now you're a
Now you gotta
pedo.
go door to door.
Yeah, so many
Oh.
people leave that out. That they leave out like they're like one of my friends always talks. I've been with him talking, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Fucking cops are dicks." I'm like, "That you were a dick.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
always start shit to
That
these
Luis
guys."
Gomez story is he did that to a cop.
He did.
Oh,
He was picking up his sister from the airport with a new dog. His sister had to fly to pick up a dog, a puppy that he was getting the kid. So he's in the car in the waiting line at the airport with the kids, and a cop comes up and is like, "You got to move. You got to keep it moving. You can't just park here." And he was like, "Fuck you."
Right.
Like he just was like, "Write me a ticket, dude. I'll pay the ticket. I don't give a shit. I'm sitting right here." And the guy went back and ran his plates, and he had a warrant, and he got the car impounded.
Really?
On the spot.
On the spot.
So he had to stand there with a new puppy and his crying kids. They took his car.
But they didn't take him.
No, they just took his car and were
Wow.
like, yeah, pretty funny.
live
Yeah.
stopped him.
Yeah. Lewis is the best,
Yeah, I love now that everyone hates cops. I love cops now.
obviously.
I was excited to get pulled over. I never
Yeah.
had a. My wife was a cop for a while.
We're big.
She was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
briefly. And
blue lives, dude.
now I love
Yeah.
cops. It's funny
Real-
when I met a lot of them. So now like I've talked to them. I like when they pull you over. It's fun to chat them up. Be like,
Yeah.
bro, just I can't believe what you do is crazy, man. And they'd let you right off.
You got that
There you
haircut
go.
too now.
I got the cop cut.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
so-
got-
Remember when I got pulled over? I got pulled over by cops leaving our Billies, and they thought I was undercover.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The cops did.
The cops thought I was an undercover cop, so they were like, "Pull over, we gotta chat." I look like a cop that much. They pulled me over, and I was like, "What the fuck did I do wrong?"
You were
They
probably
came
dressed
up-
like a kid who went to high school to buy drugs.
Yeah, for real. They pulled me over, and the guy goes 369, and I was like, "Damn thing's fine." I thought he was. I swear to God, I thought he. I thought he said a yin yang twin lyric. He goes 369. Damn thing's fine. They were like, no, we thought you were an undercover.
You're like, these cops are doing riddles.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Damn thing's fine.
Damn thing's fine.
That is so fucking. I always had cop face and cop hair.
Yeah, we look like three cops.
Yeah,
dude.
we do.
Yeah, it's pretty sick,
Just three
actually. It's kind of
cops.
tight, dude.
Yeah. Man, get on the fucking ground.
Yeah, I worked, at
Gardini, what are you doing with him? You shouldn't be in this
Yeah, what are you
neighborhood.
two doing together?
I worked at a restaurant where they on Sunset, and Sunset has this part that's a track, so there's always hoes and pimps walking around, and they I'm like 22, so
Yeah.
I have like short hair, and just like I don't know this fucking face.
Yeah.
And some of them would order because they'd order like lemonade and sandwiches, and I would go, "Here you go," and they go, "Thanks, officer," and I go, and they just turn around, and walk
You were a little
away.
bigger back then.
Actually, at that age,
Oh,
I
you
was
weren't?
no, I wasn't big yet, but they were just like,
Because the bigger you get with a cop face,
Yeah, oh, yeah,
it-
then
it
they go.
Yeah.
triples. They're like,
I have
oh, this is a
cop head.
seasoned veteran.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. You
Yeah,
don't
no.
look like you've been sitting in a patrol car.
No, I'm a big
I got
cop. yeah.
big
I'm new
patrol car
recruit.
body.
I'm class 487, dude. I'm new
Yeah,
recruit.
dude, damn thing's fine.
369.
369. Damn shorty's fine. Is that what you guys mean?
You guys just wanted to hear me say some yin yang shit
You
back to
pulled me
you.
over to ask me a rap lyric.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it was.
Who are the? I know you're a big history guy, right?
Oh yeah,
So what? I mean,
that's Custer and that's Ulysses S. Grant.
that's Grant.
Yeah, that's
You've been to
Grant.
Grant's farm?
No,
I've been there.
really.
It's cool.
I haven't
Yeah.
even been to his tomb, and it's right here.
What?
Yeah, he's
In
in
New
New York.
York?
He's buried in New York. Yeah,
Grant's
Yeah,
farm's
man.
wild in
Really?
Missouri. Yeah, it's impressive.
I'd like to go. What happened while you were there? Tell us about it.
So I was dating somebody in the Anheuser-Busch family, and they own that property.
What?
They own Grant's
What
farm.
was his name?
His name was Philip. yeah.
Philip Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah, so lots of beer and lots of gay shit went down there. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I fucked so many guys there.
What a dream.
Yeah. No, they had so they have like his actual, like you see where he
Yeah.
was born, I think, on that farm. And so they have that property. And then it's just like, it's only something that somebody could have that they built and established at like the turn of the century
Yeah.
because it's like in St. Louis.
Oh,
you know what
wow.
I mean? Like it's not like, oh, go out. It's like it's right there.
Oh.
I feel like it's hundreds of acres.
Yeah.
And you know, the Bush people made it like there's like they loved animals or
Oh, nice.
August did. So there's like, you know, it's like a zoo, like a
Yeah.
private zoo. And then
kinda sick.
and then it's just like beautiful, like, you know, streams, and you feel like you must be out in the country
Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
really
yeah.
not, you know.
No.
Yeah.
That's nice. That was how Mount Vernon was.
Really?
They have all the original animals, which is
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Do they really?
Yeah, they're like, these are the cows they had from the.
But does this
Damn.
like he mean something to you, or like
no, I just like them.
you
Yeah.
just like him? Yeah.
I'm a fan.
You're a fan.
Yeah.
Do you fan? I just got into the World War II series.
The Ken Burns.
No, I don't know if it's his or not, but it's so good on Netflix.
Oh,
Uh,
in HD or in color?
the one in
or-
color, yeah. It's so good.
That's awesome.
I was ripping through that thing.
Yeah, World
Like,
War II is
Yeah.
fucking cool.
That's my favorite world.
My
War.
wife was like,
Yeah.
"You're really an official dad now. If
That's
you're like
it.
sitting at night just
Second, you're like,
watching
yeah.
Yep.
World War II shit."
I mean, there's nothing else to watch. This is how it happens. You
Yeah.
try to watch something, you're like, this is. Although I watched the new Alone series
What's that?
where they go out in the woods and it's 10 people in the woods and see who's can stay
Yeah,
longer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Makes you want to build a shelter, dude.
The crazy
Yeah.
thing about like a good World War II or any war dog,
They're nice.
I'm just saying.
The
Hold on,
building? No.
there was a guy on there that was such a cocksucker.
On where?
On Alone, he's sitting
Yeah.
there. He's like, "I'm not roughing it. You're roughing it." Sitting there on the couch doing nothing. I'm out here challenging myself. The whole time he's doing all this shit.
Oh.
His bitch ass had to go home, dude. I was sitting on the couch, just like, "Hey, welcome
was
to the
talking to the
welcome
viewer?
to the couch, dickhead."
He was talking to the viewer. He was
Yeah.
talking shit to the viewer.
Yeah, he
Like,
was
to
talking
the
shit the
camera?
whole time. He was like, "I got
The
it." He was
fuck?
doing all that fucking wellness shit. He was like releasing endorphins out here in the wild. All this.
And so
Why
I
it's
was
did
a
sitting on
he
the
tap? Why
couch,
did he
just
tap?
like, "What a bitch!"
just like a survival shit though.
yeah.
What tapped him?
He ran out of food. They all run out of food.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. He just starved. I was sitting there eating Triscuits.
Having a good
I
time.
was like, this
Wait, so
is nice.
who doesn't run out? Because the winner obviously, like, how do they not
There's
run
one
out?
guy snagged a fucking moose early.
What?
Yeah.
A moose?
A moose. One
How?
guy stabbed a yak to death.
What?
Yeah, he fights a yak on camera.
On
He's wearing
camera?
a GoPro, like running, like stabbing it. Fucking yak.
I would
Really?
eventually suck
Yes.
that guy's dick in the woods and be like, bro, we're together now.
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, take
You,
me.
just, you
I would've
start
gave it up.
slow by just like touching his leg.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you
You'd be
doing?
a sweet boy.
Yeah.
I've never had moose before.
Guy got a moose, and then he had to fight off wolverines.
What?
He killed a wolverine with a hatchet in the middle of the night.
Fuck?
Yeah, because the wolverines were getting all his
where's
meat.
this on?
Like northern Canada.
No, but where do you see it? Like
it's on Netflix. There's a new
Is it?
season on Netflix.
It's on
Damn.
Netflix.
Yeah, this season on Netflix, they're just nothing too exciting. They're just killing beavers.
Pretty tight.
But on
Yeah.
this one, a dude killed a yak.
A guy that one season, yeah, a guy kills a yak where the yak's like wounded and he has to run and like stab it and keep running.
And then do they actually like?
A guy is literally sitting in his cabin in the middle of the night and he hears the wolverines who have been getting all his things. He's like, these motherfuckers. You see him grab a hatchet and go out into the dark and kill a wolverine
Jesus,
with
man.
a hatchet. He's like, I got it. And then he just lays back down. It's like, good God.
And when the guy kills the moose, do they dress it and like
yeah.
And then he knows he cooks it over a fire.
It has, yeah.
God.
And he's like, I got to do it fast. It's too much meat for me to,
Yeah, make jerky or
Yeah.
something.
It's cool. They're all really good at it.
All right, something new to check out.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
This season, it's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not thrilled.
I wasn't totally thrilled
Just
with it.
message.
God
message
damn.
You got to
Damn.
fast forward through all their backstories, though. That's where they try to get you.
Oh right.
You got to watch them. They're
You're
like,
like,
I
oh,
miss my
skip-
wife and
skip the-
family.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
Yeah,
Get
half
the
of
fuck
some
out.
guys being a gym teacher.
Yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah, I want to see you kill an animal with
Yeah.
your
I
hands.
want to see you starve to death and die, so I don't have to
Yeah.
think about my life before I go to bed.
It makes you hungry. The show makes you so
True.
hungry. You're
Yeah.
sitting there
Yeah.
like, damn, I should eat. Yeah, they kill animals. They cry when they kill the animal. They're like, I love this squirrel. Thank you, squirrel.
Yeah,
They just munch
Yeah.
squirrels the whole
Squirrel
fucking
spirit.
time.
You have to honor it.
Yeah, they honor it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've killed a squirrel.
Yeah,
You
wish I
killed
could
a
get into
squirrel?
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we would shoot them
Felt
with
bad.
we would shoot them with BB
Hell,
guns.
that's what I
and shit.
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun though when you hit them.
What sucked is when
Then you feel
they're
bad.
down, but they're still alive. And You're
Yeah.
like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you maim them,
Just die.
Yeah,
just hurt them.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
you've done horrific
You
things.
dropped
to
a rock
animals.
on a bird.
Yeah,
You caught the bird slipping. Then
Yeah.
that's the bird's fault.
Did you get two birds?
I got.
Squished a frog.
Oh,
He's done
yeah.
all types of shit.
It was in a bag already, so I just squeezed
He
it.
squeezed a frog once.
Why was it in a
He
bag?
was just running because a kid at camp caught it and was trying to keep it, and his retarded ass walked up and was just left the bag. The kid came back to his frog. His frog exploded in the bag. That probably haunts that kid. He's probably like, "Oh, you
So-
can't keep frogs in bags."
So
Probably tells people, he's like, if you catch a frog, don't put it in a bag. They fucking explode.
so far we have like killing animals for fun and pissing in
yourself.
stores. That's crazy, dude.
No, he's for real. Like, you know that's fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I killed a lot of animals when I was little, bro. It's not that big of a deal.
Are you from here?
No, I'm from Detroit.
You're from Detroit. Okay.
It's that water.
I like the way you answer questions. Like, you're never sure.
Yeah.
Where are
no.
you from? No, I'm from Detroit.
Yeah. Like you're remembering what witness protection told you to say. Yeah. Detroit, right? Michigan?
Oh man,
I'm from the Detroit Lions.
nice.
Yes.
I think we've done it.
Yeah.
I think that's a podcast.
That's a good podcast, man.
I think that's one.
Thanks for doing that. That was
Yeah,
Uh,
thanks for doing it, man.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me,
appreciate
man.
it. Yeah, special
check the special.
Sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer on Netflix. Check it out. Then
The
go
music.
watch Alone.
Wonderful music.
Can I tell you something, man?
Yeah.
I had that thing where they go, do you want to use stock? Because I've done that where they're like, you want music to play? And they give you some stock shit. Or they're like, or do you want to write checks
Yeah.
for like big songs? And I was like, let's fucking do it.
Was
Let's-
Sledgehammer? Did you walk out to that song on tour the
No,
whole time?
never.
No.
Never.
You got Peter Gabriel Sledgehammer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got
Damn.
I got Gangstar. Now You're Mine
Yeah,
to Close.
at the
yeah.
end.
That's a nice move.
Yeah. So that's two car. I bought two cars to fucking
Yeah.
have music on them. Yeah.
Good.
But here's the thing. I actually feel like it's one of those
It's
things
worth
where you
it.
go, it adds value to
cool.
the whole experience. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like you hear those songs and you're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. It's going to go to taxes anyway, so it's fucking,
That's true. Yeah.
give it to someone else.
Go. Yeah.
Give it to Peter Gabriel.
Yeah. He did.
Peter Gabriel was like, great. Now I got to pay the fucking tax. Now I'm paying the government. All right. Go check out Sledgehammer.
Thank you.
It's on Netflix. Sorry about that. Sean, our producer's a punk.
Yeah, he's a young punk, man.
He's a young superstar. He thinks he's a hotshot. He got intoxicated and went on Instagram Live this week.
Really?
Yeah, he made
Yeah.
a fool of
An
himself.
absolute fool of himself. He tried to delete it, and I shared it just to teach him a lesson.
Yeah, I regret it very much.
What did you do exactly?
I just
It's not exactly. Don't say exactly what you did.
I got really drunk and opened up Instagram Live and played Lakeshore Drive. Do you know that song, Lakeshore Drive?
Yeah.
It's very good. And I listened to that, and I just wanted to share a moment with everybody, and I regret it very much.
You should.
Well, you learned. And That's good.
Thanks, guys.
We should have.
It'll go away. It'll never.
Yeah, it's not forever, so that's good.
Well, thanks for coming here and doing this. I'm
I'm honored to be here.
pleased. We're honored. For real. I've been really happy about this. So it's just pumping me up. And apparently, so you are, because they've been trying to say you're totally out of it, but now you guys have had you guys are on all the ballots now in all 52 states.
No, we're on the ballots in 14 states. We got on Texas today. We needed Texas the hardest one because you have 45 days to get 100,000 signatures. But we found here what we're finding elsewhere, it's incredibly easy for us to get signatures. So we got 250,000 signatures, which we try to get at least double what we need because the DNC and the RNC are going to come in and try to go through every signature and try to, exclude them.
Really? So they take that very seriously.
Yeah, they're
But
going to
not,
try. Their strategy is to keep us off the ballot.
Yeah.
They're trying to save democracy by destroying it.
Yeah.
Well, that's
that
my
makes
fault.
sense.
I totally, for some reason, I must have got misinfoed. I thought it was
No,
a
but
200.
we've done the hard states. We're going to get on the ballot, and I think they're beginning to realize that now. We've done really effectively all the hard states. We're not on the other really hard state is New York, where you need 45. You have 45 days to get 45,000, but there's these other provisos that you have to get them from certain counties and certain congressional districts, a certain amount. And we had a firm come in that we hired to do our ballot signatures. So we had 100,000 volunteers in the state, and then we had a firm come in that was charging us, but we suspect that the firm was actually secretly working for the DNC. And they did things to invalidate almost all the ballots they collected, that if we had not discovered it early, it would have sunk us. So we're about to file litigation against them.
If only it was a mail-in vote, I think they would take it less seriously.
So you have to get per state. You have to get a certain amount of signatures to be on the ballot. Is that how it works?
Every state.
Jeez. Okay.
This is what I always thought, and correct me if I'm wrong. I always thought it was a bad move by the DNC to try to get you off the ballot because I thought you might take more votes away from what otherwise would be a Trump voter. What do you think of that?
I take more votes away from Trump than I do from Biden at this point. So we've polled our own people, and we take about 57% of the people who are our supporters who we poll say that if I drop out of the race, they'll vote for President Trump, which is why President Trump now has opened up all the firepower against me. But we also did a poll. We did the biggest poll ever done, at least in this presidential race. A typical poll like the Quinnipiac poll or the Harvard-Harris poll, the Siena poll, the Gallup poll has from 1,200 to usually 2,200 people that they interview. We surveyed 26,000 people. The poll has a margin of error of virtually zero. So anybody who does that poll would end up with the same results. And it was very interesting because what it shows is that if I stay in the race, Biden loses. If I get out of the race, Biden loses even worse. He loses 2 extra states, Maine and Virginia. We did every state. And if Biden dropped out of the race, I would beat Trump. So Biden cannot beat Trump, but I will beat Trump. I don't beat him by much. I beat him by 3 electoral votes, but Biden loses catastrophically to him. And then if Trump dropped out, which of course will never happen, but then I beat Biden in a landslide. So I beat President Biden. I take 39 states and he only gets 11. So I'm actually in a different position nobody's ever been in history, which is a third-party candidate who in a head-to-head race will beat either of the candidates from the major parties.
Damn, and they won't debate you at this point. Neither of them will.
Well, the debates are scheduled after the conventions. So there's a presidential debate commission, and it has scheduled 3 debates. The first one is in September 18th. And if I meet certain metrics, which the big metric is 15% in recent polling, then I will be on the debate stage, and I should meet that metric. So they should have to debate me. I mean, they should debate me anyway because of because my favorability ratings are better in every poll. My favorability ratings are better than either President Biden or President Trump. So if they want to do the right thing, they would debate me.
So
But I don't think they. I don't. Do you think President Biden is going to debate?
I don't think he'll debate.
I don't think he can.
I think they'll say that if they debate Trump, that's a threat to democracy, and they won't dignify Trump with a debate.
Yeah, they'll say that they're legitimizing him.
Yeah.
yeah,
Which is weird since he's already been president.
he's a criminal though. Yeah, he's going to jail. But so how do you deal with because you get crushed all the time in the media for just I followed it from a long time for they were saying you communicate with your dead ancestors, which every different thing I've seen, if you read it for 2 seconds, it's oh, you're talking about a meditative exercise. That if anyone else said it, it'd be oh, that's actually really nice. So how do you, what are some of the weirdest characterizations or whatever you've had? And how do you deal with that?
Well, they've applied everything to me. I mean, anti-Semitic, racist, talks my dead ancestors, anti-vax, anti-science. I mean, we should make a list of them. This week it's that I have a brain worm, which was actually true.
Damn. Got you.
That is a tough one.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Brainworms, tough.
Yeah, that was I think 13 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was in a deposition when I for my divorce, and I think it was 12 or 13 years ago, and the New York Times went it back and dug up that deposition.
Wait, she brought it up in the divorce hearings?
I don't know. It was in a deposition.
It's a good move by her.
For sure.
Yeah.
This guy's crazy.
Fucking brain worm.
Yeah, but I forget the context in which it was brought up. But at that time, I was having a lot of brain fog, and I was having trouble with word retrieval. Mm-hmm. And so a guy who was a buddy of mine, he was actually a guy I was in prison with for the summer of 2001. I was in maximum security prison, and he was my cellmate. He's the head of the biggest labor union in the country, Dennis Rivera. This was when we were put in jail for protesting Vieques, the bombing of Vieques, and I had won. I had been the attorney for the people of Vieques at that time. And we were good friends, and because he was the head of the hospital's union, he had a lot of contacts in the hospital, and I told him that I was having this trouble, and he said, I'm going to get you in for a CAT scan. He got me in for a CAT scan. The CAT scan showed a black dot in my brain, and they said it was a tumor. They said it's got to be a tumor. My uncle had died only a couple of months before from glioblastoma, which is a brain tumor. And my Uncle Teddy, had been on the chairman of the health committee in the United States Senate for 50 years. So we had really good contacts in the medical community. And we, at that point, because they'd all been involved, the best oncologists and neurologists in the country had been involved in treating him. So they were all on the speed dial and, family phones. So I was able to take these films and send them around to the best doctors in the world. And they all said, yeah, it's a brain tumor. And then I had to get surgery, and I was going to use the same surgeon that Teddy did, which is this guy in North Carolina at Duke. And I was going in to pick up my films on the Monday, and I was scheduled for surgery on the Tuesday, which I was not looking forward to. And there was a young doctor, an Irish doctor, who was sitting in the office where my films were at Columbia Presbyterian. And we struck up a conversation. It was about Ireland and stuff. And he said to me, "What are you here for?" And I said, "I got a brain tumor." And he said, "Can I look at your films?" And I said, "Yeah." So he put them up on the light board. And he stared at them for a long time. And meanwhile, we'd had literally the best surgeons in the world looking at these. And this is this young kid. And he looks at it and looks at it. And he said, and then he turns to me and he said, "I don't think you've earned surgery." And I was like, "Tell me more." And he said, "There's something about this. I don't think it's a tumor." He said, "What you should do is measure it really precisely, and then 6 weeks later measure it again. If it's a tumor, it'll grow. If it's not a tumor, it's something else." So I went back every 6 weeks for the next 6 months, and it never grew. And then at the end, he said, "It's probably this thing called neurocystic sarcosis, which is like a form of a tapeworm that gets in your brain." And he said, "It's dead. It's not in there, or you'd see it." But apparently it's very common in India, and I had traveled a lot in India, because of my work. It's also common in the hog industry, and I had been suing the hog farms for 10 years.
Pig soon.
So I don't know exactly where I got it, but anyway,
What
it's
side
dead.
what part of your brain was it in?
It was on my left side in the front.
Okay, so I think
Well,
that
I don't
part
know.
it's not super important for what I know about brains. Front is important, and like the bottom, pretty important. Sides are just like memory and
And the worm-
balance. You don't need that. You don't need that.
The worm was, you couldn't remember words. It was eating the words. What was this, a bookworm?
No. I don't actually think the worm was causing me
I
any
sat on
problem.
that for 5 minutes. Pause.
So that was the theory, though.
I don't think it was. Because at the same time, I found out that I had huge mercury levels. So I had 10 times the amount of mercury that EPA considers safe. When I chelated out the mercury, all my cognitive issues were resolved. And so I don't even think that the brainworm, I don't know what the brainworm did. A doctor told me at one point, he said, you could lose 10 IQ points and you'll never know it.
True.
He said, even people around you won't really notice it. So I don't know, do you think you're as smart today as you were when you were a kid?
I don't know. I can't tell. I think I'm smarter, but I might.
You've gotten smarter.
I got Audible. Audible helped me a lot. I was pretty dumb. Now I can
I've gotten significantly
Yeah,
dumber.
Audible is good.
Audible is good.
You think you've gotten smarter?
No, I've gotten dumber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Is
like-
that from the drinking? And
Yeah, probably alcohol, lack of sleep for a long time.
Stress.
That'll do it. Stress. It's incredible.
Well,
stress.
I know this, that my kids seem a lot smarter than I was, and they think they're smarter than I was. So
Yeah, they have the leg up though. They get, they have the benefit of how smart you are. Then you raise them with your level of smartness, so they get, more smartness. I went to school for psychology for a year. Well, here's a question. This always kind of cracks me up, but because I'm been fascinated with how you're portrayed and all this stuff. And the thing that really kind of cracks me up is when people are like, "Oh, like you're coming on these positions, you're grifting, you're trying to get supporters." But then the things they're hitting you for are like, again, vaccines, wildlife preservation. It's like if you were truly grifting, I feel like you would just be like, "We got to fund Ukraine. We need more vaccines." Like you could rise to the top of the Democratic Party tomorrow, I guess, if you were like, "I love Ukraine. We got to fund the war. We got to do this. We got to do that." And then you get accused of
when I took
grifting
my
on
position
fringe
on
stuff.
when I took my position on Ukraine, which was the beginning of the campaign, it was 86% of Americans supported the war in Ukraine. So it was not like a proper position.
Yeah.
people recently started saying this about me because my official position changed on the abortion issue. And so they said, well, he flip-flopped on that. But, I don't think anybody really seriously accused me of being a flip-flopper for the reason that you say, that I've taken very, very unpopular positions and stuck with them. And what I say is, there's no way that you can change my mind by calling me names or by criticizing me or by marginalizing or vilifying me. You can always change my mind with facts. If you tell me I'm wrong about it, show me that I'm wrong about something, about one of my presumptions, I'm going to change my mind. And that's what happened with the abortion thing. So, my position on abortion was that it should always be a woman's choice, right up to the very end. And my assumption was that any abortion that occurs during the, ninth month, you're basically killing a child, right? My presumption was that no woman's going to deliberately carry a child for 9 months and then 2 days before it's born abort it. Who would do that? So it could only be in instances where the mother's life was at stake, or there was some other, overwhelming medical issue involved. And that it shouldn't be up to a bureaucrat of the state to dictate the outcome of those kind of decisions. It should be up to the mother, her relationships with her family, her conversations with her pastor, with her doctors, etc. It's a very difficult decision. I don't want a bureaucrat making it. But then I learned I was wrong, that there are actually a huge amount, comparatively, of elective abortions at that time. And my belief is that, the state at that time, you've got a wholly formed, viable child, that the state has some interest in protecting that baby. So as you guys know, you come from presumably Irish Catholic families.
Yeah.
My family is split about this, about, right to life, right to choice. I've been a medical freedom advocate. I've been I've been the leading advocate in the country for medical autonomy, freedom of choice. So I think the woman should always choose, but in this case, if it's a fully formed baby, that the state does have some interest in protecting that life.
Yeah, but that's kind of, for me, that's kind of your charm, where you'll like wade into these very murky waters where most times it's just like a one word answer, like I'm for blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, you're like kind of actually going into it being like, well, I support medical autonomy. And they're like, what about a late term abortion? You're like, all right, you son of a bitch. Yeah, fine. And they're just like, you blah, blah. So then they just they run the story as like, you love to kill babies. That's like kind of the angle they're going on it. And it's like, if you look at it for 5 seconds, you say like every abortion is a tragedy, but I still want every woman to make the decision, not a bureaucracy. And it's like, for me, it drives me nuts to watch that. It's like, damn, this is deciding the future and the policy. It's literally like, it's a form of lying to be like, this is what this guy thinks. And you watch it and you're like, if you watched it just 2 minutes before that, it's not that at all. But and then to say like, well, I saw it and it's like, fuck man, I was wrong. I don't like that. I don't think it's flip-flopping. It's just being like, let me have all it's almost an impossibility to expect one person to have the right answer on every major issue in the country. And that's what the president is expected to do.
Start to finish.
Some people just lie. So then the presidents just lie, or they just like research, get demographics, and they say, this is what I'm going to say. It's almost like if someone agrees with everything you think, they're probably just lying, So I do applaud your ability to like wade into those waters and be like, here's what I think. You get the data, you go, okay, yeah, shit, all right. I'll think about that, differently. So I don't think it's flip-flopping. It's like actually thinking issues through rather than having a team of people be like, say this about that, get the vote, and then, business as usual. So I just wanted to commend you, that's all. Give some positive vibes.
Oh, it's interesting living in that space where, where I'm getting incoming from both sides and just and tremendous anger and from people, and particularly from people that I, knew that I was allied with for many years, and then how to deal with, to internalize that, that kind of criticism. It's easy to deal with it from the outside because it's kind of formulaic about how do I counter this, but it's been interesting, and actually it's been an important experience for me to be in a world where I'm very isolated and where nobody believes you, and to be able to find my own resources and say it's not important what people think of me. It's not my business what other people think of me. My job is to do what I believe is right, and then leave the outcome in God's hands, and to try to be peaceful throughout that.
It's pretty difficult. So how do you do that?
I had an experience.
I could use that myself.
I had this experience
Yeah.
when I first got sober. I went to a rehab for a while, and my wife came to visit me on January 17th, which is my birthday. And after you get a visitor, they test your urine. And I got a urine test, and it came back positive for alcohol, and not just a little alcohol, but like me walking drunk,
Like Gardini Instagram Live.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened?
And then, so they shut down.
Good time, dude. Chill.
The golden shower.
They shut down the unit. So nobody could go out, nobody could have visitors, they couldn't go to the gym. And then they sit in a circle and try to get me to admit that I had drank, but I hadn't drank. So the next day, so they had just like a marathon meeting, and I just said I didn't do it. The next day, they tested me again. I came back positive again. So then they went in and they took away everybody's perfume and their hairspray and anything that might have alcohol. And they were trying to figure out where is he getting that alcohol. And that happened for 13 days in a row. And at one point, I said to them, put me on suicide watch, because there was a glass box, where they can put you and observe you 24 hours. I said, put me on that so everybody knows what I'm doing. And then test me. And they said, no.
You just got hammered in the glass. So they didn't put you in there.
They just said, we don't know how you're doing it. The doctor said to me, 5 years from now, you'll come back. If you're still alive, you'll come back and tell us how you did it. And they asked me to leave. And I called up my brother, and I said to him, here's what's happening. And he said, you just need to come clean and tell the truth. And then I called up an uncle, and he said the same thing.
Oh, no.
So I was like feeling, okay, there's nobody in the world who believes me right now, but I'm telling the truth. And I just started laughing, and I was talking to God, and I was saying, it's between you and me, and that's all that matters. The only thing that matters is my integrity, and I have to be happy with that. And that incident just taught me a lesson that, it doesn't, what other people think of me is not my business. It's not my concern. What my concern with is if I have personal integrity, if I'm living a life of integrity, of character, and then, we're all in the middle of a dream. We're all in the middle of an adventure. And ultimately, it's God's decision about how it turns out.
Nice. It's respectable. So how do you, okay, I have another question. So with all the, are you familiar with like the deaths of despair and all the people who are like just either killing themselves, overdosing, that whole phenomenon of like the nihilism and how it's kind of spreading? So, and this is just from like me watching you, you strike me as like a president who also has a pretty directly spiritual view. It's not like dogmatically religious from what I can tell. It's more so like you seem to have like a direct connection with like a higher power from, I guess, like recovery and all that stuff. As for being the president, or like as president, what do you think if you were to be elected? What would your role, or like would you take it seriously, trying to kind of combat like the pervasive nihilism and how that kind of relates to like the deaths of despair and all the overdoses and stuff? You think that's like an important role, and is that like possible to even speak to? Is that like a policy thing? I
think it's absolutely critical, and we have particularly. This younger generation of kids, Generation X and millennials, who feel completely disconnected. They're disconnected from any kind of hope for their own lives. because they're not going to live the way that our generation lived. They know that. They can't afford a house. The central fulcrum of the American dream for my generation was that if you worked hard, if you played by the rules, you're going to be able to finance a home. You're going to be able to raise a family. You're going to take a summer vacation, and you're going to put something aside for your retirement, all with one job. There is nobody in my kids' generation. I have 7 kids. One of them is in a house. The 6 younger ones, who all have good jobs, all went to great schools, none of them have a hope for getting in a home. So part of it is, and there's this poll that was taken in 2013 where Americans under 18 to 35 were asked, are you proud of the United States of America? 85% said yes. The same poll taken 4 months ago, 18% said yes. So somehow that entire generation in the last 2 presidencies has completely lost faith for their future. And I think that's part of the problem, this detachment. But also there is the shattering of community bonds that's occurred, where people are being fragmented, they're being alienated, atomized, and a lot of it has to do with social media and the kind of decline of communication, the decline of social relationships, the destruction of Main Street, with the local, all of these little things that bound us to community, nature, the local store, the hardware store, the bookstore, the relationship, the Boy Scouts, all of the relationships that we had are now that held our country together and that built this idea of community are now being eroded, and we need to build those back. And we build those back by rebuilding our industrial base, by getting people into homes. Because if you're in a home, then you care about your community. You go to the PTA meetings, you go to you care about your police, your fire protection. You're part of a community. You're part of something bigger than yourself. But also you have equity so you can borrow money. And if you have an entrepreneurial impulse, you can pursue it. And this generation, part of going from a nation of owners, from an ownership society to a nation of renters, we go from being citizens to being subjects. And they see that happening to themselves. And, all of this alienation and dispossession that you see in that generation is this confluence of economic factors and the social media that are just driving people apart, and all the bonds that once held together are gone. One of the things I'm going to do is start these wellness farms, and that's going to be my big Peace Corps program. Right now, the biggest industry in rural areas is prisons. And I'm going to start building these wellness farms where kids can go and reconnect with the communities, where there's no cell phones, there's no screens. People raise organic food. They can attend if they want 12-step meetings, but it's their recovery areas. People can get off of SSRIs, they can get off of benzos, they can get off of illegal drugs, go there for as long as they need to go and recover. I went to the model for this place in Italy called San Patrignano's, where they have 2,000 kids, and it's about several thousand acres. They have a vineyard, they have kennels where people learn how to take care of animals for, as part of an employment. They have a bakery that's a prize-winning bakery. They have a winemaking facility that's, produces some of the best wines in Europe. They have a furniture factory, they have an apparel factory, they have wallpaper painting, and they have traditional artisans who are teaching these kids a trade. And when they leave, they have something. They're placed in a job when they leave. There's a place in Salt Lake called The Other Side, which is based upon that model, and they're doing the exact thing in downtown Salt Lake, and they have 300 ex-cons there, a lot of them drug addicts, and they run one of the biggest storage companies in Utah. They own a moving company. They own a lot of little companies, and they teach these people how to be reliable, how to show up on time, how to talk to other human beings, how to keep a bank account, all of the kind of the skills that you need to be part of a community and part of society. And we need to reparent this generation of kids and restore them. We're spending, right now over $100 billion on Ukraine. And we have a crisis in this country that is, that we're ignoring. And we're losing this generation of kids. And, I'm going to put an end to that.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's something I always worry about too. It doesn't seem like it's going very well for a lot of people.
Yeah, but you love the Donbass region.
The what?
The Donbass region.
What's
Matt's
Donbass?
obsessed with it. That's why he keeps giving all that money to Ukraine. The last thing
True.
was Russia to get the Donbass region.
I am on a hamster wheel. That's all I podcast for, is to send more money to the Donbass.
My son went over there.
Yeah, I knew that.
Connor.
Yeah.
How's he doing?
He's good. He's practicing law now in New York. I mean, in LA, he's living with me, which is great. He's got a very, very beautiful Brazilian girlfriend who's a pop singer.
Awesome.
I think they may be getting married.
Hell
This
yeah.
is all private conversation, right?
So wait, why can't we be friends with Russia?
With Russia.
Yeah. I don't understand why we can't just be
I think
friends.
we should. I think we can be. I think
I
we.
think it's important.
This, what?
I think it's very important.
Yeah, I think it's really important too. And that's they lost the Cold War.
Yeah.
And, the most important diplomat in modern American history is a guy called George Kennan. And he's the architect of the containment policy after World War II. And he said, in 1997, when the Clinton administration began extending NATO to the east, to putting it in all these former Soviet bloc countries, he said, you can't do that. You're treating Russia like the enemy, and it is going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're going to turn them into the enemy, because if you treat them that way, they're going to have to arm and they're going to have to defend themselves. We should be inviting them into the market. We should be inviting them into, Western life. And I think we lost a big opportunity there. And I'm not saying Putin is a good guy, because he isn't, but the Russian people like us, and
Yeah, they love our culture.
yeah,
I truly don't understand it.
the same is true of Iran, by the way. I mean, Iranians love the United States. I read this poll recently that the favorite television show for Iranian teenagers was Oprah.
Nice. That's awesome.
They're not exactly like American teenagers, but they have
That's
a
really
fascination.
There's like 40-year-old women.
Oh, they're like,
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. Yeah, it's like just open up trade and just be cool. I don't know. Russia for real is like
Russia scares me. I've told you, every night I've been listening to this book. It's called A Nuclear War Scenario.
yeah.
It's terrifying. It's the scariest book I've ever read, and it's like,
Yeah,
why are we
messing around?
why are we even coming close to the idea
Yeah.
of this? It's the end of the world.
And people assume that we've got the best nuclear arsenal in the world, and the Russians.
The Russians do.
Yeah, I think they've got 2,500 more weapons than we do. But they have much better weapons. They have better defensive
The
weapons.
thing that's really scary about the book is it talks about Russia's like Tundra, their early weapons. What's that, like early detection technology is like kind of subpar. So if we just launch any missiles, they have no idea, and they're like, that could be 100 missiles. It could be at Russia. We have to preemptively strike.
oh no.
It's a nightmare. And I don't know.
But they
That's
got the best
nightmare.
nukes.
And we
They have
have,
the most, yeah.
if they do launch, or if there is a mistaken launch.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
This one, Amaryllis, who's my daughter-in-law who runs my campaign, she was a CIA agent for many years. And she says, if that's at 3:00 in the morning and President Biden, they wake him up and he has 7 minutes to make the call. And he's got
That's all I've been thinking about the whole book. For real.
he's got 6 guys pushing him through a tunnel at full speed.
And he has to make, he's the one.
During that period, while he's still running through the tunnel, he has to make the call: do you fire back or not?
Do you end the entire world or not?
Yeah.
It's
That's terrible.
It's so scary, dude. The book's so scary.
I didn't even think about accidents.
Yeah, I mean, it happened once. It happened in the Soviet Union. I think it's like in the 80s. This Russian guy, the Soviet guy, saw it was a radar malfunction, and he was like, America launched. And I guess that it was only 10 missiles. And he was like, it would be more than that if they really wanted to do it. I'm not going to tell anyone. And he was right. There was no actual
Did he
launch.
get court-martialed or something?
I'm not sure. I think he eventually
one
got
of those guys got court-martialed.
he got considered. Yeah, his nickname's like the guy who saved the planet because he did. Because
by
his
being like,
real
eh.
job was to say yes, they launched, and he was like,
I don't know.
"This is like a big responsibility to end the world right now or not."
Whoa.
Yeah, it's very scary.
Yeah, that's
And
terrifying.
I never thought that. It reminds me of that Trump speech. He was like, "It's the N word." You ever see that?
Yeah.
It's one of the funniest speeches.
What is it?
He's doing a rally and he's like, I guess Trump he came to the conclusion that it's very serious to even discuss nuclear weapons. And he's giving a rally and he's like, there's a new N word. And everyone's like, Jesus
Come on, man.
Christ,
Come
dude. And he's like, no, not the other one. It's like, God damn it, dude.
You know, I don't know. I think it was 2 years ago. Your producer will probably be on top of this.
He's looking at girls on
was-
Instagram.
Where Hawaii
Yeah.
got
I
that
remember
notice.
that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that there had been a launch that there was incoming, and everybody should run into their bomb shelters.
Yeah.
Which
Which will do nothing. Yeah.
God damn. Yeah, that's kind of terrifying. But now, too, if we're friends with Russia, they might be like, you just like me because of my nukes.
True.
You know?
is what
They might just be like, you just like me because of my nukes. Russia might just be kind of like,
It is true, though.
You don't even
we
really
have to
like
like
me.
them. If they didn't have nukes, we wouldn't have to like them. But it's important we like them.
Yeah, that's what I worry about. I worry about the organization of the world at like the
That's-
highest of levels. It seems kind of terrifying.
That's what I hated about like when Trump went to North Korea and was becoming close with Putin and all that. It's like don't try to divide. Like that's good. I don't care. That's good. That's better
Yeah.
than them having animosity towards
He should
us.
be a permanent diplomat to like totalitarian.
Apparently people like him.
regimes. Yeah, he's great. He's great at it.
If elected, will you send him to North Korea? It is.
yeah.
Yeah. He needs
Good
to be.
idea.
Yeah. He needs to be friends over there.
Crazy too, because you don't really have like a broadcast home where like Trump was getting kind of defended by Fox for a while, then like MSNBC would slam him, and Biden MSNBC would defend Biden. You get attacked from pretty much every major news organization, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of these new networks like News Nation that give me a platform.
The Hill, I
And
realize.
the Hill, they like me, but then they turned on me on Gaza.
Oh yeah.
But I like watching them. I think that they're trying to play it straight. That they don't have an ideology really. But
Can I ask what was it that they turned on you for Gaza?
well, they the woman who's on that show, Brianna, who was I think she was Bernie's press secretary, and she feels like she accepts the narrative that Israel. My understanding is that Israel has no legitimacy in the region, and that it doesn't have a right to defend itself, and that the war is in Gaza is sort of a war of aggression by Israel, and that they should be out.
Right. Yeah, you caught a lot of heat about the Israel stuff. Again,
Yeah.
which goes to the, if you wanted to just read the room and just do the talking points, you could just be like, bam, bam, bam,
Yeah.
and get out and be the man.
That's a tough one. There's no real talking points on Israel.
Yeah. But if you were younger
It's
voters,
two
like Gaza-
clashing narratives, but
Yeah.
the younger voters, the people of the anti-war movement, the left wing of the Democratic Party that was kind of starting to lean toward me, a lot of those people are believe that they're helping Palestine by supporting Hamas, which I don't think is a good way to look at it. I think you have to separate Hamas from Palestinians. I consider myself extremely pro-Palestinian, and I think leaving Gaza in the hands of Hamas is a non-starter. It means that nobody can really rebuild Gaza. It means that Hamas continues operating their kleptocracy there, and training the kids to hate, to kill, to invade Israel. I don't see that it's there's been 5 ceasefires, and every one of them Hamas has used to rearm, to regroup, to hoist the banner and to attack again. And Hamas says that's what we're going to do. We're going to do October 7th, October 7th, October 7th until Israel's gone. Oh, they don't want any territorial concessions. There's nothing you can negotiate. In fact, in their charter, they have a number of provisions that say even negotiating with Israel is a violation of Islamic law. So I don't see how you sit down and how you just stop fighting if they've declared war. They've since 2006, they've shot an average of 2,000 missiles a year at Israel. This war has been going on for 21 years. It really started in 2001. And I don't see, that you just stop fighting. I don't understand it.
I heard a rumor that Netanyahu funded Hamas. You ever hear that rumor?
Netanyahu, Israel did not create Hamas.
Yeah.
Hamas created itself, but Netanyahu has approved the funding of Hamas through Qatar, at least $1.5 billion and probably closer to $5 billion. And he has, you don't have to speculate about his motives. Part of his motives was to keep peace. And this is what he'll say. We were buying them off to try to stop them from attacking us. But he also said very clearly at one point that it's better to support Hamas because as long as Hamas exists, they can't, the Gazan Palestinians won't make common cause with the West Bank, which is, because the Palestinian Authority, which runs the West Bank, is antagonistic to Hamas. And to keep them apart assures that there won't be a two-state solution. So I think Netanyahu was, part of his motive was to sabotage a two-state solution. And people say, okay, well, that was what he was doing, and therefore we should condemn all of Israel. But, he's one guy.
Yeah.
And, when George Bush and Dick Cheney were running this country, they did some pretty sketchy stuff, including invade a country that did nothing to us.
Yeah.
And destroy it. And yet, we don't all hate America and say that we have no right to exist.
Fair point. That's a pretty fair point. Yeah, it's one of those things I always try to read about it, and no matter what I read, it's like swayed one way or the other deeply, and you're like, they get me all the time. But I know a lot of the independent younger YouTubers are pro-Palestine. But
Yeah, the Dave Smith had a good one. Our friend Dave Smith, he's a libertarian Jewish man.
Oh, I know
he
Dave
was on
Smith.
show,
I debated
that's
him. I
right,
did our debate with him on Palestine.
He had a good tweet about it the other day about how the media now, like the media allowed, like the BLM, the protests that they got pretty wild. They were all supporting that, but the second college students almost entirely peacefully protesting Israel, they are condemning across the board almost. And he was like, the reason is simple is because the BLM protests made Trump look bad. The Palestine-Israel conflict makes Biden look bad. And that's why the media is clearly, I don't know, I thought that was interesting. I don't think I have a question there, but.
No, it was a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
I think.
Yeah, no,
Did
I read the
articulate
same
that, or
thing.
am
I liked it
foolish?
too.
Yeah.
No, I liked it too. And it is true. It is kind of nuts.
What do you think of that?
I mean,
that's-
I think people should be able to peacefully protest. And, that's part of the right of being an American. So, when, at some point does those protests become across the line, if you block students from going to class, if you block Jewish students from going to class, if you're occupying buildings, if you're trespassing, the university has a right to discipline you. The rights are very different if you're on a state school campus, because the state really should not be censoring anybody on the First Amendment. But if you're in a private school campus and you have community guidelines that protect, for example, non-white students, the same protection should be given to Jewish students.
Yeah, it sucks because the thing they do that I don't like with the Israel debates, if you're like, I don't like what Israel's doing in this case, or like you're anti-Semitic, you hate the Jews, and it's like, dude, I truly don't. But that's the one trap I think they fall into, where it's like you must hate Jewish people. And it's like, no, dude, I just think that one particular instance is kind of bad. So
Yeah,
it's tough.
I feel like if Israel is a democracy, it's the only democracy in the Mideast. And that, part of the duty of living in a democracy is that you criticize your own government, and that we all have not a I don't know if an obligation, but we all have a right to criticize the government of Israel without being anti-Semitic. I think it turns into anti-Semitism when you're applying a double standard, when you're judging Israel by standards that you're not judging the neighboring countries or West Bank or Gaza. If you say, Israel is guilty of genocide, which clearly it is not. Israel, that were in 1948 when the Palestinians left Israel, 750,000 of them left. There's now 7.2 million. So it's the opposite of genocide. And if you look at the surrounding countries during that war, those countries expelled their Jewish populations. There's many of those countries, for example, Jordan, where there's not a single Jew. And the countries that still have, there's only, I think, 15,000 Jews remaining in all of those countries. And that is a genocide, and it's continuing. And those countries are also committing genocide, many of them against Christians, like real, organized, systematic, we're going to kill you if you don't leave. And that's not true in Israel. Israel, if you're a Palestinian in Israel, there's 1.8 million Palestinians who have Israeli citizenship, and they have all the rights of Jews. They vote in elections. They can run for the Knesset. There's 10 Arabs who are serving in the Knesset. They can run for prime minister. They serve on every level of the judiciary. In fact, 4 years ago, a district court judge who is Arab convicted an Israeli prime minister of corruption and put him in jail for 7 years. And that decision was upheld by an Arab judge on the Supreme Court. Nothing like that could happen in the West Bank. In fact, these protests, if you tried to do these kind of protests in the West Bank or Gaza, you would be killed. There's no free speech. There's no freedom of press. There's freedom. In fact, I think there's 27 states in the Mideast, and I think 26 of them have an official religion, and Israel is the only one that doesn't. Israel has freedom of religion. You can worship anybody you want in Israel without penalty. You can, people who are Arab or Druze or other nationalities and ethnicities, Shia or Sunni, have all the same rights as a Jew. So, saying that you're, saying that Israel commits genocide without talking about what's really happening around them is a double standard. And when there's no freedom of the press. There's no, in West Bank or Gaza. If you even talk about these things, about opposing the leadership, your life is at risk. If you're gay, you get killed.
Heard that. Yeah.
If you're a woman, you have no rights. There's,
Yeah, I've heard they're pretty tough on that as well. What did Dave Smith say?
Tough on crime.
What did Dave Smith say?
What?
What did Dave Smith say to all that? What did he say? Nah.
Oh, well, we didn't, Dave is a very smart guy.
Yeah.
He's, and that's why I wanted to talk to him about this. Because, I wanted to talk to them. I think he's probably the smartest guy out there on that, from that point of view. Oh, he avoided a lot of these. Our conversation avoided a lot of those issues. And I think it was much narrower conversation, I think.
Yeah, those debates spin off into like in 1942, the jurors, blah, 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 and they did this and the battle of blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, they should really, put that into more of a ceasefire. But it is tough because,
it's hard to talk about the issue without talking about the history.
Yeah.
Because it goes, there's kind of an assumption that Israel is not a legitimate country somehow, and that all of those countries were created by the British and the French after World War I when they cut up the Ottoman Empire. And Woodrow Wilson had said to them, "I will only participate in this war if the people who are living in those countries get to govern those countries." So Britain was given the leadership over the administration of the Palestinian Mandate, which was Palestine, which was one of the bigger chunks of the Ottoman Empire. And Britain made a decision. They actually went and interviewed people, and they interviewed the Jews and the Arab. There was a Jewish population and an Arab population, and the Jews are always been a second-class race. They were called dhimmis since Muhammad conquest. And the Muslim leader, whose name was Mufti al-Husani, said, "Yeah, if this is all our land. There's nothing here for the Jews, and we don't even want a state even a mile wide for Jews. And any Jew that stays here will have second-class citizenship." So the British said the Jews had helped the British in World War I and World War II, and the Arabs had been against them. So, the Jews had taken Israel's promise that we're going to give you your homeland here. They said they were going to give them all of Palestine. Instead, they gave 85% of Palestine to Arabs, and they gave them a little sliver, about 10 to 15%. And so Israel, but all of those nations were created out of whole cloth, and none of them made any sense. I mean, Syria had a Kurdish population in it that was never given a homeland. The Christians were given a homeland in Lebanon because there's a lot of Maronite Christians, so they were given their own homeland. The Jews were given up a small, tiny little homeland in Palestine, which is, where there had been a Jewish presence there for 2,700 years. The Arabs were given most of it. And but there's a feeling among the Arabs that Jews shouldn't have any of it, and that's really what this dispute is about.
How could we end it?
Nukes. No.
Listen,
They keep bringing that shit up.
I know.
The thing is that Israel is at peace with two of its neighbors. When I was growing up, it was inconceivable that Israel would ever have a peace agreement with Jordan or Egypt. And it has peace agreements. Now you have the Abraham Accords that are three more nations that want to make peace with Israel. And it appeared that Saudi Arabia also wants to join the Abraham Accords. And, Saudi Arabia did something really interesting, which is after 9/11, because Saudi Arabia had a very, very radicalized population. And those were the people, I think, 26 of the hijackers on 9/11 were Saudis, because they had these this strain of Wahhabism, which is a very radical form of Islam and jihadist form. And the Saudi Arabian government had encouraged it. But after 9/11, they were critiqued all over the world. And they made a decision, we're going to de-radicalize. And they put in place all of these programs to de-radicalize their population, and it worked. And so I think the ultimate solution is economic development. We need, Gaza should be one of the richest, most pleasant places to live in the world. It has miles of white sand beaches. It's the beautiful bluffs. It has the richest agricultural land. It has a foot of topsoil. It's an oasis, so it has abundant fresh water. It has a port that is at the confluence of the Mediterranean Sea and the Suez Canal and all the trade routes from Africa, Mideast, Asia, and Europe. It should be the Singapore of the West. And if you had people who are focused on economic development, this place would be thriving. But instead, all of the money that they get, they steal. The top guy at Hamas, Ismail Haniyeh, has a net worth of $5 billion, which he's stolen every penny of it. his two lieutenants have a net worth collectively of $6 billion. And all the other money they get, they spend building an underground city, 300 miles of tunnel. Imagine the innovative and the entrepreneurial and the resourcefulness of these people to be able to make 300 miles of tunnels under their city. And all that's gone to war. What if you put those, that resourcefulness to work actually building a society that people could be proud of, which is what the Jews did. The Jews took a piece of Israel, of Palestine, a little tiny sliver 9 miles across, and it's now got one of the highest GDPs in the world. And it was barren wasteland for thousands of years. And, the people in Gaza have that capacity. And I think if the world comes together around them and says, we're not going to tolerate Hamas anymore, but we're going to create a Marshall Plan so that, you and your children and generations of children can thrive. This is what we did after World War II. The Nazis ran Germany. We denazified them, and now they're the richest country in Europe. And nobody worries about them going to war because we got rid of that ideology. The same thing happened in Japan. It's the richest, Japan, I think, third richest country in the world. So, I think you can de-radicalize them with good leadership. The problem is that, there's some institutions there, including the United Nations, that have actually amplified the problem rather than trying to solve it.
That's a good answer.
The regime
So
changes.
far, is this your funniest interview that you've ever done?
This is good.
No, that's good.
But the regime changes in Germany and Japan, that was a pretty heavy cost.
I mean, we
It's gonna be harder to-
killed 2 million German civilians.
Yeah. It's going to be harder. It's difficult to do that.
Well, but it's a much smaller country, right? So, it did come at a heavy cost, but I think to me, you have to get rid of step one is they have to get rid of Hamas, because let's say Israel left right now. Israel left Lebanon, and and Lebanon immediately Hezbollah became the hero and the kind of the world, became 10 times as powerful because it looked like they had defeated Israel militarily. So if Israel leaves right now, it makes Hamas 10 times as powerful, and then they leave an enemy at their border that they know is just rebuilding for the next attack. And that is not going to negotiate with them. It will not be satisfied with any outcome except the annihilation of Israel. So I think you have to get rid of that ideology. And, at the end of World War II, Roosevelt and Churchill met at Casablanca to decide what was going to happen. This was after the Normandy invasion. They knew that they had the capacity then to destroy Germany. And Churchill said, we should not do an unconditional surrender, because if we do that, then every German is going to fight to the death. And Roosevelt said, if we don't do unconditional surrender and we don't denazify Germany, they're going to come back in 10 years and do it again. As soon as they get another generation, they're going to come back. You got to denazify them. Oh, I think the same argument applies to Hamas, is that you got to get rid of them in order to give the Palestinians a chance to really rebuild their country. And then the whole world has to come to their aid and start, incentivizing economic development rather than, the devotion, the commitment to all of their human and financial resources to a war machine. After World War II, we had between 1944 and 1948, we did the Marshall Plan in Europe, and there were 17 countries in Europe. We rebuilt them all, and we rebuilt them. The amount of money that we gave for the Marshall Plan was $626 per capita, per person in all of those countries over a 4-year period. And in 2023 dollars. So it was $42 at that point. Today it's $626. we've given over the past 20 years $8,600 to every Palestinian. And yet they're worse off than when we found them. Why? Because all that money's been used, either stolen or used to build a war machine. And so, it's just throwing money down a rat hole instead of building a society that makes people proud, that, makes people hopeful about their future, that gives them power in the world and sovereignty over their own destinies. And that's what we need to do for the Palestinian people.
Yeah, it's just tough now. Like in World War II, you could people go to war and they'd be like, oh yeah, whatever. It just is what it is. Now with there's footage, there's babies dead. It's all of it can just be spun into just you don't know what.
Because you're seeing it on social media.
Yeah,
and you're just
this is terrible. So like you were saying, if you have to, take military intervention to remove Hamas, Shane's you have to kill hundreds of thousands of people. It's I feel like people feel they see the effects of war more acutely now. So it just seems just
they do a good job of keeping the Ukrainian footage out.
Yeah,
you don't see that.
Yeah, I guess you really don't.
I think that's interesting.
I haven't seen. You don't see any of it at all.
Rarely, you see some drone operating footage, but there's really not that much online about what's going on in Ukraine.
That's weird.
Yeah,
compared to Israel Palestine.
There's videos. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I don't know.
You know what? I mean, there's much worse wars going on right now than Ukraine.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's been 300,000 kids killed in Yemen.
Yeah.
And, we're supporting that war and nobody complains about it.
Yeah.
And, then there's in Syria, the same thing. What they did to the Kurdish population in Syria and Iraq, we killed 500,000 kids. With the sanctions and with the war, 500,000 children died.
Yeah.
To get rid of a guy who never did anything to us.
Oh, terrible.
So so we do have to ask ourselves, and there's conflicts all over the world right now that are worse than what's happening in Gaza. And why is nobody complaining? Why don't we have protests? Do we only protest when there's Jews involved? Or, do we care about all these other places where Muslims are being killed? The Uyghurs in China, all over there are slaughters taking place of Muslims and evictions taking place, and nobody's complaining about them. But it's just one place where they complain, and that's when, it happens to be when the one Jewish nation in the world. And by the way, people say, when they say Israel is an apartheid state, how can you say that when every nation in the region has actual apartheid rules and Israel is the only one that doesn't? The apartheid was in South Africa and there was 143 rules that were race-based and that punished minority races or give them, and Gaza has that. In the West Bank, it's the death penalty for selling property to a Jew. In Jordan, it's the death penalty for selling property to a Jew. Why aren't people complaining about the apartheid state in Jordan? Or,
they set the bar pretty low over in the Middle East. They set the bar pretty low in the Middle East.
And that's what I mean by a double standard.
Yeah,
if you're,
it's bad.
There's a famous story about the guy who is the president of Harvard. His name Richard Lowell. In the 1920s, and he was trying to get, Harvard was the first Ivy League school that let Jews in. And he was trying to get rid of all the Jews at Harvard. So he made the applications by Jews much, much more rigorous than the application process for other people. And he was asked, why are you doing that? And he said, because Jews cheat. And people would say to him, well, other people cheat too. And he'd say, you're trying to change the subject. I'm talking about the Jews. So
this is the president of Harvard.
That is the kind of level of conversation that you have when you say, well, Jordan kills people executes people for selling land to Jews. Stop talking about Jordan. I want to talk about Israel.
Yeah, that's a fair point. 'Cause, yeah, there is
Thankfully-
everyone. It's taken for granted. Like, oh yeah, they throw people off roofs and stuff. Like we
Yeah.
all know that. Obviously.
Also, thankfully, Harvard has since changed their racial acceptance policy.
yeah, true. They use it against Chinese people.
A real quick one. What's going on in Haiti? Are we going to help Haiti ever figure out what's going on down there?
I mean, every time we've intervened in Haiti, it's made Haiti worse off. But, it's the poorest country in the hemisphere, and it's in total chaos right now. I'll tell you an interesting story about Haiti. And Haiti was it was the pearl of the Caribbean. It was the richest colony that France owned, and during the Revolutionary War, France came over, sent armies over, and helped us win the revolution. They had a couple of battalions that were all black from Haiti that came over here and fought. And those guys saw what was happening in America, and they said, we can do the same thing. So they went back to Haiti, and they started a revolution against the French. At that time, there were Americans who were coming down up the Ohio River, down the Ohio River into onto the Mississippi and invading New Orleans, which was a French possession. So there were Americans flooding into New Orleans, and the French were worried that the Americans were going to take New Orleans away. So it sent the biggest fleet in history over to New Orleans to get rid of all the Americans. And they said, on our way, we're going to stop in Haiti and suppress this rebellion. They stopped in Haiti, and the Haitians wiped them out. Along with yellow fever, they destroyed the French army, the French military, and the French had to go limp back to France without ever going to New Orleans. And when they got back to France, they had bankrupted the country. And so Napoleon had to sell New Orleans, the Louisiana Purchase, to America for, I think, $28 million. Damn. And it was Haiti that really created, in that way, that played such a key role in creating our country. And the Haitians expected support from us because they were the second place in the world that had a revolution against colonialism. They were trying to start a democracy. But the slave owners in the American South were very, very worried about the example. So so the U.S. government therefore boycotted and starved Haiti, and that was the beginning of the destruction because it was the richest island in the Caribbean in the world. And because of that, because they were being starved to death, they had to cut down all the trees, and the soil eroded, and you had this cycle where the U.S. then goes in and invades periodically with the Marines, and every time just takes a little more out of Haiti. So it's a sad example of U.S. foreign policy.
That's pretty terrible. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Haiti's. There's a good podcast on it, Revolutions, about the Haitian Revolution. It's pretty awesome. I know you're running out of time. I understand.
true.
I understand. But yeah, we should help them out, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
we gotta help our neighbors out.
yeah. That'd be awesome to do.
Work on those cartels a little.
So
Let's
what
figure it out.
I have one quick question left. So I don't think you've never voted before, have you?
No.
Neither of us have ever voted before. How do you do it? How do we vote?
Yeah.
I know we got to fill out a form online to register. How do you actually vote?
I've never done it before.
How do you vote? Yeah. How old are you?
38.
And you never
I
voted?
told you my generation is dispossessed. You don't make fun of me.
I'll tell you what. You don't need an ID.
You don't need an
You
ID.
definitely don't need an ID. That would be racist. Wouldn't it be racist if you need an ID? Anyway, I'm gonna go.
No,
to
I'm
the
just
bar.
kidding. We go online.
Those racist bastards better not check my ID at the
True.
bar.
True.
You
I
know-
know how you do it. You go online, fill it out, and then go in there.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I'm going to do when I get into the White House is the first day I'm going to order the passport office, or I order the post office and the State Department to issue passport cards to every American who can't afford them. Because right now there's a lot of Americans who don't have ID. They don't have a government issued photo ID. Mainly they're people that are elderly. They're all Democratic constituency. They're elderly people whose licenses have expired. They're young college students who can't get a license. I mean, who haven't gotten a license yet. Because that whole generation. I mean, when I was, the day I was 16th birthday, I had my driver's license.
Yeah.
I
But
currently have an expired license, and it's hard to
you
get.
do?
It's hard to get an ID in Texas.
Yeah.
You have to sign up like 3 months in advance.
Yeah. And
then
it's
I
a nightmare going
forget
to
to go.
DMV.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do that. And then there are minorities in cities who don't have driver's license because they don't have a car. So that's why the Democratic Party does not want voter ID at the voting booth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, and nobody wants to go to DMV, but there's 30,000 post offices, and anybody who is a U.S. citizen ought to be able to go there and get a government-issued photo ID. Al Sharpton and Andrew Young have said, if I do that, they will waive any objection to requiring a ID at the voting booth. So that will diffuse this huge tension between Republicans and Democrats. About, you don't want ID at the voting booth. We do. Obviously, we should have ID. And I understand why the Democrats don't like it, because it disenfranchises millions of their voters. We could solve that problem that way. The other thing is, if you don't have a driver's license or a government-issued photo ID, you're a second-class citizen. You can't open a bank account. You can't go to get on an airplane. You can't stay in a hotel. You can't see your kid at school. So it will solve problems for a lot of other people. And then right now it's illegal to employ an illegal alien, an undocumented alien. But people do it anyway, because all you have to do is check out a box that says, I saw their Social Security card. Well, Social Security cards are easily fabricated. They're used on job sites in New York. They're passed hand to hand, so everybody just shows them to the boss, and then they pay him in cash at the end of the day. And nobody ever gets arrested for hiring an undocumented. What I'm going to do is say everybody has to show a government-issued photo ID at a job site, or the employer goes to jail, and that will shut down the border. Because everybody's coming through that border because they want a job. If they know you cannot get a job in the United States unless you have a government-issued photo ID, they're not going to be flocking there anymore.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty simple. I don't know. It's crazy. They've never done that before. Never even thought of that either. I was like, well, you just can't get one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just print them out. It's a good idea.
I think we have to wrap it up. Thank you very much. This was
Thank you so much.
Shane, Matt, thank you so much for having me. I'm sorry I wasn't a funnier.
No, you're
that's
great.
okay.
Podcast.
yeah,
No, dude,
it was
you were great. That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.